I haven't been live, bro. I haven't been live. I haven't been in. I ain't gonna say I haven't been in the mood because it's crazy. I posted. If you look at my last post, it might say I posted like a day ago, and that's very funny to me because I feel like that's been a long time. Um, just to show you how I keyword feel. We're gonna go kind of deep on this. We're gonna not really, but we're gonna touch on the topic that's gonna really answer a lot of doubts and concerns that people have. And I like the word feel because this is gonna be the word that's gonna kind of like magnetize and shift the dynamic of. I'm using all these abstract words, these big words, because words have been so pivotal for me. Words is everything right now. Words is everything. I woke up today, I had an epiphany. As soon as I woke up, I said, if we live in the matrix, I see why people, well, I heard this article of somebody who, they were like, the people in groups, it's like a study or a scientific study or a biological study that people in groups, right, that the most alpha person is not the person that typically wins long term in life. It's this most social person. And I tell you, man, in my past, I was very insecure about social situations. I mean, even people who would spoon feed and come around the group, because I had a group of friends, but people who would come around that were cool or popular, you know, I would kind of be like, wait for them to talk type shit. Like, I would kind of like, I would never want to be known as like a dick rider. Excuse my French. I would never want to be known as like a person who was chasing someone else's validation. And ironically enough, the more I learn about social circle game and the more I learn about just social skills, I really learned that it's really an emotional game. Now I know I made videos in the past to talk about like you got to take your emotion off the table, which is true, but that's after you bring honesty and integrity into the spaces in your life, maybe even work. You'll be surprised at how being genuine will honestly help you keep your jobs, your relationships. I mean, it's everything. People genuinely, for the most part, think like if I be honest, if I show my heart on my sleeve, if I show my feelings, that I won't get the girl, I won't get the job, I won't keep the my social life will diminish. People feel this way, and I'm here to say that that's 50% true, 50% false, 50-50. The difference between a successful person and a non-successful person, they can't deal with 50-50. They can't deal with the fact they can't trade their old life for their new life. They can't. They're not evolving. They can't shed the old snakeskin. They can't say, okay, let me move into this new phase of my life with um, a sense of arrogance, which could be positive, or a sense of, uh, and I'm in the field of transformation. Like, take those feelings that people typically call negative, they call the words, what's the word? I just said it. Arrogance. Okay, when you were younger, arrogance could have been negative. Let me give you an example. Arrogance could have been negative because maybe the group of people you were hanging with a secluded group of people in your neighborhood and situations you got into, your arrogance was not crowned. It didn't. No one was around. And I want to also coin the fact that a lot of people's fathers weren't around. So, for instance, to give you an example, my father wasn't around. So, if he was, me being arrogant could have been more celebrated in certain situations. But what happens is your friends become your fathers. You become their father to a certain degree. And y'all have this dialogue that is nuance, is different than what it should have been. See, I always say that people, life is like everybody's given the same 24 hours. We're also given the same measurements of space, not just time, but space. So there's spaces in between me and everybody. That makes me an individual. That means that um, we all have a room. I'm in my room right now. We have room. And this is key because one big thing about me, I'm claustrophobic. And claustrophobia can form a feeling where you you aren't as expressive because um, you always feel subconsciously like you're going to end up in a situation where you can't get out of it. So the whole world may be going through this to some degree based on how we all grew up and stuff like that. But when you really understand trauma, it can help you. When you really understand, again, social dynamics and even in the pickup artist community, they always talk about, oh, if you walk up on a group of people or some females, the first they let you know that the first thing the women are going to think is, oh, how long is he going to try to talk to me? A subtle, subconscious, lizard brain, reactive feeling of kidnapping pops up in their system. You could be the nicest guy on earth, but people want to know, what do you want from me? Why are you here? I'm making a video right now. Anyone who's new in here, they may think, who is he? What do he want? Do I want to stay here? Do I want to leave? Do I want to go? And people have the right, think for the lights. People have the right to go, to come, to stay, to leave. And this is what I like to operate under socially. I like to be free. So, um, like I said, claustrophobia can spawn in childhood and it can bleed into why you kind of are secluded today. I grew up in a small neighborhood, probably about eight of us were with seven, probably six, seven, really, really, that was really tight, and everybody else, probably eight or nine, actually, 10, maybe 10, but everybody else was kind of like go to school, come home, da da da. You'll see them when you see them type shit. But my neighborhood was one big street, and then I lived up like it was like real dynamic type shit. But what I'm trying to say is that as far as me becoming some social guru, that was never the idea. I actually embraced being, I'm not gonna say socially awkward, but I mean, in my neighborhood, I could be that and get away with it because I mean that's the normal guy nowadays. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the normal, that's normalcy. And like I always say, me looking like how I look, you already know that that allowed me to get away with acting like that. But now that I'm older, it's like, man, I really want to hone in on my skills. And I actually got a structure for y'all that I'm gonna read in a couple minutes. It's a structure to really hone in on how we can be better at opening conversations with strangers. Now I got this. I don't want to bring her up, bro, because I feel like it's kind of stalkerish and cringy and weird. But let's just say there's somebody in the neighborhood that I think is pretty, and she's so quiet. Like you feel me? She's so quiet that it makes it to where I just don't know what to say to her type shit. Like you feel me? But I honestly, I said hi to her a couple times. I said what's up. I'm not that cringy. You know what I'm saying? But all she did was say hi and back. But she kept her feet moving. Now I think she did. I don't really remember, but at the time I didn't even have a besides my opener, I didn't even have a follow up line, so I just said what's up. So it's like I wasn't even paying enough attention because my game wasn't even like that. But I came up with this structure, or I got this structure. I'm not gonna say I came up with it, but I got this structure, and I also just got some information on just how to stop being so fucking cringy and just. Cause like I said in high school, bro, I was never the opener. I was never the leader. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about my synonymous big bro that I always bring up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's good, farmer? How you doing, bro? We just talking about social skills. We're about to jump into the topic. I'm just I'm just reminiscing. But what's going on with you, man? What's going on, bro? Oh, this farmer. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. You was talking about the fruit. Oh, okay, okay. This channel kind of new, so I really don't. Thank you for the like. This channel kind of new, so I really don't be. I'm just getting acquainted for real, for real. This is like my fifth time going live. I'm going live, and in my head, I'm like, I know like two, three people name wise. But yeah, it's always cool when you perform a relationship or a bond with the people who are interested in the same uh, hobbies and activities as you. But yeah, I'm not social, man. I'm trying to work on this shit, and again, uh, it's a skill, and I really highlighted. Well, I didn't do it yet, but I put the word feelings up there. Now, as men, we're taught to never be this. That I just put in the chat. We're taught to never be this, and we're never to talk about how we feel. That's like in my neighborhood. It just wasn't. It was just like an uncommunicated, unspoken law or rule that was there. No one put it there, but it just we all kind of just knew that we tease each other and we slap box. So it was like you just know people don't care about your feelings. Now, of course, if someone's violating you, you say something to stand up for yourself, and that's when people will start to say like, "Oh, my bad, bro," or "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." That's when the respect is there. So, but it's kind of like a little difference between respect and emotions, but like not really, because to my understanding, the coolest kids in the school were kind of like, if you really want to break it down, like they kind of was emotional, like, and I'm talking like the most popular kids in high school, because they would tell you how they feel. They kind of were actually leading with emotion, but it was like logic 50% and emotion 50%. It was like if they felt something, they were going to say it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why that could be good or bad. But we're going to expound on this topic because I got a structure for y'all that is going to actually blow y'all away. Shout out to four people in the chat. How y'all doing, everybody? Don't be afraid to drop those game controllers in the chat because this is the game that I'm giving. This is nothing but game, and it's all about control. Shout out to five viewers, man. How y'all doing today? We should jump on a live together soon. You be dropping game. I appreciate you, bro. And yeah, we could do that. I'm gonna check your channel. I didn't even know you do YouTube. I be so just like I actually just woke up actually too. Like I actually just woke up. And yeah, so I was still fasting. I'm fasting right now actually. Let me see how deep I'm in on the fast. Let me know though. We can do that. We can get that in. What you want to talk about though? Shout out to six views. Cause as a lifestyle coach, my topics kind of just be changing, bro. Like I literally make sure I keep that open so I can just any topic really. Um, where I'm at on my fast though, and we're gonna jump right back to the topic after I say it. Okay, bet. sure. Shout out to Farmer in the chat, man. I definitely need some people to talk about these diets, though, this food, these diets, because, you know, I really be feeling like I'm deserted out here, bro. So, damn, I'm okay. I'm really 14 hours, going on 15 hours into my dry fast. 15 hours into my dry fast. That's amazing. I've been doing really good. When I look at my history, I fast almost every day. 14 hour, 12 hour, 20 hour, 16 hour, 14 hour, 29 hour. That's the longest fast I think I did since a couple of years. But that's not good because you gotta really keep fasting every day. Because our bodies want to heal. I'm not gonna go too deep on that topic though. And then August 25th, which was yesterday, I did an 8 hour fast, and now I'm about to close a maybe 15 hours. I don't know how far it's gonna go. But all right, man. Let me jump back on topic. Um, y'all look forward to me and Farmer locking in doing something soon, man. Um, but now, uh, so I'm talking about feelings right now. I'm just talking about feelings, and it's so funny to me because we all have them. It's not nothing to be scared of. It's actually something. It's actually something to. It's actually something to embrace because your feelings is what's going to actually carry you through uh, to your adult. I always talk about adulting, adulthood. Your feelings is important. Um, it's the one thing that you've been taught to cover up or hide or deny or resent or whatever, and they're actually the things that make you a threat to like a positive way, like a threat, like so it makes you have integrity first of all. It makes you respect yourself. It makes you be able to set boundaries, and it makes you be able to communicate with other people. And like for instance, when I say it's a girl in my neighborhood that look cute, I want to talk to her. It's the embracing of my feelings that allows me to say I don't care if the whole world explodes for me doing it. I'm going to do it because I am respecting my feelings. Now, that should sound cliche because most guys are so fake nowadays that they'll tell you, "Oh, how is that emotion? That's logic. You're telling yourself you want to do something and then you're doing it." It's not logic. It's not logic. That's not logic. That's not logic. It's a feeling. That's why the term "I'm feeling you" or "Oh, you feeling her." See, us guys are so dumb as a box of rocks that we will actually think because we're logical that everything is logical, and we'll start to believe that um, it's either this or that, or we'll start to believe that if it's emotion is wrong or some shit like that. Now, emotions can be played upon; they can get you into bad situations. So, what I want to say is it's the structure plus the emotions that makes the game progress or success or whatever. Progression versus fucking thing. So it's both, man. It's simultaneous. You want to know what you feel and you want to be able to express what you feel. Yo, what's going on, Facts? What's going on, brother? I'm just chopping it up real quick. This is actually a video on social circle game because, like I said in my one of my videos, I really don't want to necessarily. It's to me it's erroneous to think that, oh, we're okay. I gotta hop on there. I ain't been on there a couple of days, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really haven't been up there in a couple of days. I'm happy to hear that though. I haven't been up there in a couple of days. Something been telling me just to kind of simmer in, just relax. Sometimes you get certain little like feelings, and like probably a couple months ago, I was trying so hard to post good photos on Instagram, and I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just get this feeling that you just need to just lock in with your YouTube, lock in over here, like really carry the cross, like really carry the load and just get back to the more finer things later, which like YouTube and social media and stuff. Like I'm really trying to lock in, but I'm gonna go up there today since you said that though. Shout out to Facts, man. Shout out to Facts. But right now, bro, we just chopping it up about let me ask you Facts. Let me ask you. Let me use you. Let me use you, bro. Let me use you, bro. Because I remember what you said last time about the game. And I'm a connoisseur of social circle game and direct game. And I honestly believe 98% of men are that. 98% of men. Now, what do you deem yourself as? Now, there's two people in here. Y'all both can answer, but what do, if you're listening, what do y'all deem yourself as? Social circle or direct? And for the viewer who just came in, what do you deem yourself as? Social circle or direct? Now, me personally, for the last 5 years, I've been listening to a coach. All right, I'm gonna tell you. So I was just about to say it too. For the last 5 years, because remember, I was just telling a big story about how I grew up on a street or neighborhood. It was really not a lot of people, really kind of secluded, but it was fun, and it was cool figures out there. You know what I'm saying? It was cool figures. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I grew up in some boiling pot or I grew up where it's extra fun and I could just get up and I'm gonna see new women every day. Like it was like, yeah, you might see one or two and moved into the neighborhood, but it wasn't like a boiling pot. If I wanted to have that type of life, I had to move across town, which I ended up doing as I got older. But I'm not gonna make it seem like it wasn't schools around, public schools that I could have went to or that I grew up in. And I'm not gonna make it seem like it just wasn't like you can't like bro, it was bad bitches in my neighborhood. It was a lot of cool figures in my neighborhood and again I was one of them. Even though nah I'm cool as shit. Like people already know I'm cool, but I'm just saying like it's definitely a gradient to coolness, respect, and all these different assets. But you know, for the most part, everybody respected me. And I was everybody knew if they came over to my neighborhood, it was like, yo, where's Will? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's this other guy who always be with Will? You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not playing basketball, all that cool shit. So a lot of my game or female attention came from maybe my looks and my position in the neighborhood. And I think this is how it go for a lot of people as they're growing up, right? So because you grow up in a neighborhood, it's a you have no choice but to be in social circle at that point. It's when I first got into my school at sixth grade and I moved back to my neighborhood that I'm talking about at sixth grade, my friend or yeah, my friend that was like my new friend came up to me and he was like, yo, this is the baddest girl in the school right here. And I'm like, she not even all that, bro. Like real talk. She cute, but she not all that. She grew on me, right? You feel me? She grew on me, like type shit. But I ain't gonna lie, she grew on me because her personality was it was that. You know what I'm saying? And she was so that's a form of social circle, if you ask me. It's not direct because me and her was actually, we was locked in. So and around that time I was young enough to where I wasn't just trying to crush. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't just trying to crush. So I barely was crushing. So it was like, it's like social circle game made the most sense to call that at the time. Now, yeah, I used to flirt. She used to flirt, and but it was other girls though that wasn't my friend. That was 100% with that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference. And but in some dimension, that's still social circle because they had to be in my neighborhood to get. accustomed to me. It's not like today where you just walk up on a female at Starbucks and you open up a conversation or you approach. It wasn't. It was different. It was a different thing. Farmer says, I prefer. Hold on, Farmer. Let me make you a moderator too. So, you're a moderator now. So, I prefer direct and to the point, but you might have to use indirect communication in certain situations. Yeah, I agree. But if you want to be respected, then bro, I think the exact same way. That's probably why you're here, bro. I think that I couldn't think any more like that than I do, bro. That's exactly how I think. But I'm I'm having an insecurity that I am approaching an age and a point where I am leaning more towards what I was trained to not lean towards, if that makes sense. Like I got this lingering feeling inside of me of like, yo, what if the indirect shit, what if the shit that we're saying don't get you the most respect, get you the most pussy? Like, what if that's what it is? Because, when you look at seduction and speed seduction and all that stuff, you start to realize that women are, well, we already know they're indirect creatures. So, yeah, they may respect you, but they may reject you. So the percentages change. It's like I understand, like you're saying, like, oh, I'd rather take the respect or have nothing at all. But do you honestly feel like that? Because some women you don't respect either, possibly. You just want to fuck them. So it's like really like a toss up for me because it's like, you know, I'm about to read what you said, facts, but it's really a toss up for me because it's like, do I really give a fuck about every female respecting me? I don't think I do. Like I could die without every female respect and be perfectly fine. Like I don't. You're a stranger right now. You know what I mean? And I know that shit might sound shady or crazy, but it kind of just for some reason. And not only that, because I am an integral creature, so it is like if I do want your respect, then what I'm gonna do is be more honest and just be your friend. Like if I want your respect, and you're a stranger, and I want your respect, which is to me again, I'm questioning that in the first place. Because if you're a stranger, I don't give a fuck about you. But the social circle game is so cold to me because what guys are doing is using pre-selection on a large scale, and I don't see by me having a friend probably like even like 2 3 months ago. She got a boyfriend, so I guess she went back and did something. She's gone now. But when we were linking up and chilling and shit, uh, she do YouTube, so we were vibing. I had a little YouTube channel. She had a YouTube channel, and there was a lot of chances for me to do, to get right type shit. But I always felt like because you got a boyfriend, I'm not even trying to really, I'm not even trying to really like I'm not trying to do anything that I might regret later. You might regret later, or I'm not trying to do that, right? So I tried to, let her know I valued our friendship and shit like that. But again, I wasn't that deep in the social circle awareness. Like, so I might have turned her off, or I might have like killed her confidence by accident. See, that's the thing too. When you study the indirect game or the social circle game, you learn all that comes with that game. So you start to learn how to tell women like I really value you as a friend, da da da, and you could keep them around because you're not going to be too harsh. You're not going to be too, because women are so sensitive that if they turn us down all the time and tell us we their friend, and we kind of fall in line. But if you say that to them, especially if they got a boyfriend, it's like they kind of like you got to really. know how to have a mouthpiece and how to word shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another gem that I want to take from the indirect community, the social circle community, or whatever. Because to me, the foundation of adulthood is friendship. I don't think it's like everything people make it out to be. I think it's just having friends. I think if you really talk to people the right way, you can really get them on your side. You can really make them love you to the point where they're like, fuck my boyfriend, fuck this, fuck that. This is my friend. Now, the boyfriend might be jealous. He may get in the middle and may split y'all. Cool. But she will always find her way back to somebody who made her feel a specific type of way. So that's kind of what my mind is on those things. And that's why I say I don't want to respect from a stranger because it's like, from my understanding, people who truly run the world, they could give a fuck if you respect them or not. They're gonna make you respect them because they're so smart. But besides that, I don't need your respect because if you die or live, like if you, I mean, if you're really a stranger, right? We're talking about strangers. What is your respect going to do for me? Is it going to bring me any value? Is it gonna, and I think that I don't know if I learned this from direct or indirect game, probably direct more, but just being really, really tactical about your time and who gets it and who you share it with could really, um, it could force their hand. Besides, they're just women, they're feminine energy. That being really stern on your time and your attention and who gets it and who don't naturally forces them in or out. So I think adding more social circle game to my life, it could be bad or good. I don't know. But I'm trying to see at what percentages do I want to tweak this shit to, if that makes sense. But I agree with you as far as the respect being. I think the same way. If you go up to a female, excuse me, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. It's like, damn, this nigga he's a man. This guy is a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're thinking in their head. But if you really understand seduction, it's like, bro, you could get so further quicker. And some people say, oh, well, if you get somewhere quick, then you could lose it quick. But not with seduction because you're really hitting on some of the things that really ramp up a woman's. Um, you're basically giving milk to a stray cat. You feel me? Like if you really study that seduction shit and really get to see what they're doing, it's like most human beings want pleasure, and from what I'm learning about the that community, those guys know what they're doing as far as how to turn a woman on and how even human beings in general want to be spoke to and want to be talked to. So it's kind of crazy just to even dip my pinky toe in that world because it's like, damn, this is what my game really been missing. Like, yeah, I've been direct for the last 6 years or so, just straight direct, and I lost a lot of friendships that way. And I'm not just talking about females; I'm talking about some guys too, because that's another thing. Like, your resources could really take a hit by you not knowing indirect game. So, um, I advise people to be wiser um, because direct, it's like you're showing your hand too. Sometimes it's like, how you gonna reject? Wait, here's the thing, Mark. I want to really point out. This is the epiphany I had lately. Is she really rejecting me, or is she just rejecting my presentation? Is she rejecting this 5 minute or 3 minute segment that I'm giving her? Maybe I don't got on the right outfit today. You see how I dress? Maybe I don't got on the right outfit today. See, seduction or indirect game or communication skills, if you just want to be frank about what I think it is, it gives me the opportunity to seduce you with time. You may not want to fuck me on Monday. You may want to fuck somebody on Friday, and it may be a random guy who in your phone that you just like, okay, well, since Will is in my phone, let me fuck Will. But not only that though, like if you even just need someone to chill with, talk to, go to the movies with, you know what I'm saying? And I think that most of the stuff that makes people depressed um, contradicts that um, social game, because sometimes you just need to get up and go to the gym or go to the mall. Sometimes you just need, thank you for the lights. Sometimes you just need to just go for a walk. You want to call a friend. Hey, I'm going for 5 minute walk. Da da da. Pull up, man. You soft. You don't even want to walk. You lazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit. You can't even develop those talking shit skills. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to agree with y'all saying. New York fact says, I feel like the older you get, the more direct you have to be. I agree on some dimension. I agree on some dimension. I don't think that that's true though, because in which way? Um, because it's it, to my understanding, con artists has been around since the dawn of time. So integrity, I feel like integrity is different than telling a lie. I feel like, because if you say so, okay, so if you paint a scenario, some people feel like they don't owe certain people no loyalty. So if you look at history, I mean, black people could feel like the whole time, like, damn, every white person's bad, which most people fall into that trap, you know, because I feel like integrity is when you look within and ask yourself, how can I get out of a situation first? Or how can I build first? How can I build first? Or what moves can I make first with myself in the mirror that makes me a better person overall? Now, better person is a vague statement. It's so vague that we can't put a definition on it. Better person is in the eye of the beholder. So many people can die thinking that they're going in the right direction, and then, oh well, that's the end of the story. No one knows what better or worse is until they experience it. And that goes back to what I'm saying about being indirect with women. You can't reject me because you don't know what you want. And a great salesman or a good con artist or anybody just of wits or anyone intelligent, bro, or experienced, we know that people don't know what they're missing. If I want to sell you a vacuum cleaner, you may say I hate vacuum cleaners, but that's a feeling or a thought or idea. All of those three of those could be changed. Feelings, thoughts, and ideas could be changed. Now, I do agree with the idea that sometimes you're beating a dead horse and you do need to walk away. So a great salesman or a con artist knows exactly at what point should he pack his bags and leave from a female's crib, or quit a game, or quit quit a situation. So I would agree with you on the terms of if that's what you're saying with the direct, because again, to me, it's like this: women are okay. This goes down to real psychological nature of women and men. Like, I honestly feel like I think this is just humanity. I don't. I think it's like humanity type of thing. Because life is so nuanced. It's like, how do you know what you want? And it's so many vegetables and foods that I never tasted before, and like I don't really know. I just judged them, and I thought I hated Brussels sprouts until I cooked them a certain type of way. And it's like, the more you know, the more you teach and show. Like, you stop questioning and you start kind of acting on shit. You're like, man, I don't give a fuck if she thinks she don't like me. I want her though. Like, now I'm not gonna grape the chick. I'm not gonna take anything, but I'm going to make sure she gets to see me in the best light possible. And if I don't feel like I've given her that opportunity, then she still don't know if she want me or not, because she hasn't seen me at my best. She's only seen me at my worst or in the middle somewhere. She's seeing you in this vague area. She's seeing you in this vague area. So if she's seeing you in a vague area, but yet every other man in America got fucking $1 million homes and shit. It's just not fair. So I'd rather show a person my great qualities. I'd rather show a person my greatest qualities before I think that they're rejecting me. I just refuse to believe that you're rejecting me because there's a lot of shit in my life I can't reject or we couldn't reject growing up. We never chose to like Kellogg's. They told us it's great. They marketed that. We didn't ask for that. I didn't ever say, oh, when I go to school, I want to eat this for lunch. I want to eat. No, they told you you're gonna like chicken sandwiches and ketchup on and mayo. I don't even like that type of shit. But guess what? I made myself adjust to the program that was in place because that's what I seen was winning. That's everybody was eating that. Everybody, that's all that it was to eat. So when you go up to a female, it's very important whether you say, "Oh, am I gonna go direct or indirect?" Because what if she the type of female that don't like to be bothered at work? So now you think you're getting rejected, but in reality, you're just getting what you deserve because you don't know no better. Um, so I would say it's a battle between knowledge and I think there's a lot of preconceived notions about rejection that need to be kind of like um, sought out and clarified. Let's see. Fact says sometimes indirect can be dangerous. Um, he said, "Nah, the last vid you made when you said to tell a joke to the floor had." Nah, I mean I got that from somebody. I got that from somebody, and that's not about like dating. That's just about like, um, did I say tell a joke to the floor? Tell a joke. I think I know what video you're talking about. But I don't know if I said tell a joke to the floor. Did I? But nah, that's just a couple ways. Like say I'm going to 7-Eleven in the middle of the night, or say I'm out. But the structure that I got for y'all today, that I should have got to probably 30 minutes ago, is way better than even that. I got a structure for y'all that can help you open up a conversation with anybody, guy or female, and this can help you to build rapport or to open up, uh, go from stranger to kind of like, oh, I kind of know him type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's a female that's around my neighborhood that I feel like, and this is a prime example. I don't necessarily want to go direct with her. I kind of could tell um, with her because she's super quiet and she's like in her own world every day. She go to work or wherever she goes, she come back home. I don't think that direct is. I know it to be more manly. I accepted that as that, but I think that especially for people in your neighborhood, I think indirect is just smarter. It's just and again, you're giving them the opportunity to have rapport with you. If you just say, "Hey, you look cute, you look good. I'm trying to take you on a date. I'm trying to get to know you." It's it's a lot of respect and it's a lot of this and that, and you're giving them the yes or no up front. But again, they don't know anything about you, so it's like I don't know. They both to me they both have their own pros and cons. Because I mean, getting rejected every other day comes with being direct also, and I'm talking like from the baddest females you think like, damn, I really wanted that. And from my personal experience, the indirect game has taught me how to have a better mouthpiece. From my personal experience, because it kind of bridges the gap between friendship and dating, which is where all the rapport is really hidden at. And reason why I couldn't really, the main reason why I was messing up in the game was I was being too direct. So it was like they might be sexually, or they might be like, damn, he's cute. I hope he say the right shit to me. Like, cause women are more, like I said, they're more indirect, nuanced creatures anyway. So they're like, okay, he's cute. So was he and he. I seen like 10 cute guys today in this mall. But I really hope that when I get on Instagram and he inbox me, or I really hope when he get in my phone, like we talked about the other day, I really hope at that point that he shows character and shows personality. They want to fall in love with the personality. They want to fall in love with the character. They want you to make them laugh. And what I found is that's just people and humans in general. They want to, um, you know, fall into that frame of character. Now, again, uh, you're right about what you're saying. He said, women can pick up on the swindle. Just make sure you're manipulating with good intentions, or else she is going to come back to you. But, nah, facts. I don't think that manipulation is what I'm saying. I know I use the word con artist and shit like that. And you're right though. And I know people feel manipulated, and those are people who you should, like you said, watch out for. And just that's an issue with life in general. You can't please everybody. I don't see videos of women dating a guy who does um, what could be considered manipulation, and he's in a happy marriage or whatever, and the woman is like, I don't feel manipulated. I just don't feel like, she's like, I know what he does and I know what he's into and all this stuff, and I know the type of game that he runs and all that stuff. But again, you're absolutely right, but also I'm absolutely right in the fact of vetting. You have to vet because I mean, I try to make helpful videos, but you can't save the world because, again, it depends how. Okay, this is the thing about life that I found also. If you get into anything, whether it's selling drugs or anything, if you go into it only at a certain percentage and don't go 100%, that's not the person's fault who's telling you to, who's giving you some game. You have to, like for me, I'm really passionate about game. That's why my name is Game Like Will. Like I'm sincerely, honestly, and integrally honest about what I'm doing. So yeah, there's going to be a couple of bad apples, but those women naturally fall out. And from what I've seen, and it's good. It's better than good because um, I'm all about positive energy, and if I'm not supposed to be in your life, um, then good. If you're not supposed to be in my life, we're not supposed to be in each other's life, then that's good. From what I've found is that life works perfectly. It's a falling out process. It's like, and I'm not into being a perfectionist. Like, if I ain't shit, then in life you can't be somebody you're not. You feel me? We all seek to the level that we seek to in life, but um, to me, it's less manly to think that you ain't shit. To me, like even if like that's the thing, like you gotta find people who embrace you. Like um, that's the key, right? I'm a lifestyle coach before a dating coach, so I'm not into manipulating women or anybody because this is honestly my life, and I make this known um, what I do because I can give a fuck about manipulating a woman. I just don't care. I value my life, like you said, bro. I value my life, and if a female think I'm playing, that the new term women be saying, "Oh, you playing in my face." A female better not say that to me because I'm gone. I don't want to play in your face. I don't even want you talking to me in that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like new school or new age language or lingo. Um, I'm 29. It's just like me working on my mouthpiece, me working on structuring sentences a certain specific type of way. It's just like her putting on makeup. It's just like her fixing her hair up. She's structuring her shit a certain type of way. to induce a feeling in the opposite sex to draw you in so she can what? Get fucked. Now, it's like me saying sentences that build rapport is more innocent than that. If you ask me building sentences, me having um, building rapport with you to make a genuine connection. Remind you, if we make a genuine connection, um, that don't mean I'm gonna have sex with you. It just means we're gonna know each other deeper. That's all it really means. It's gonna still be in the female hands or up to the female. Um, if she's going to bite that apple or not. Because at the end of the day, God do give us free will. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. I believe in that for both of us. Um, it's free will. It's like it's a lot of women who I'm highly attracted to because they put that makeup on, because they got that BBL, because they got some fake shit, and it's my choice whether I'm going to hit that or not. It's my choice, and all I'm trying to say is I did a lot of thinking on these type of topics like that because I'm a natural guy. I love all natural food. My women to be natural. If the world was my world, everything would be just natural. But it's not my. I mean, it's our world, right? It's some shared shit that we're doing, some collaborative shit going on. So my thing is how can I integrate? I don't know how to say the word. And how can I be integral in this shit? How can I be me without losing who I am and being the best version of myself while building genuine relationships? Because I really don't. Again, I don't care about the sex. I really don't care about the sex. Most women are on the lookout for guys who want to fuck them because they're like, even though we want to have our pick of the litter, we still want to control y'all and kind of like make it some like you know, controllable game type shit. But I understand it. But for me, again, I'm more value friendships over relationships anyway. So it's like if I go indirect with you, I'm just trying to see if you're a cool person off the bat. So I think that's why my leverage there means so much because I don't like um I think direct has its pros and its cons. Like I said, I think it makes you look like a man on the front end. So it's so easy to do it. It's so easy to fall for that because it makes you look like an alpha male, and it's what alpha males do. But at the same time, it's in such a little short sequence that you have to do all this. You have to do all this keeping the ball up in the air type shit, and you have to you can't make no mistakes. Um, from what I've seen, I'll say one little wrong thing, a female get mad and try to clip the situation. Um, or not sometimes. But again, I just feel like you gotta have a little bit of both. That's just how I feel, bro. That's just how I feel, bro. I feel like the world is too nuanced. You'll really frustrate yourself just being one way, and then you'll be like, damn, I'm not having as many dates as I could have. I'm not having as many leads as I could have because I'm basically letting every woman know off the rip that I see them as attractive, which is true but it's not true because it's like, okay, I see you as attractive, but I don't know your heart yet. So it's like, shouldn't I want to give myself a little safety net or a little cushion before I just fully submit to your beauty or some shit like that? And that's where I feel like the most of the mouthpiece in the game come in because when you start to take that position, it gives you authority over your own self, and it makes you actually, in my opinion, more honest because you're not going to lead a female on that way. You're going to let her know, like, oh, I did like you when we first met. I did think this, but now, you're telling me, you're challenging me on this, you're challenging me over that, and I don't see a future with a female that's challenging me on everything. So I think what people are calling manipulation nowadays is just whoever has the most authority, the other person is gonna whine. You know what I'm saying? Like if we give them more authority, we'll end up becoming a 40-year-old bitter guy that's like, man, these women, the world, the dating world is bad, it's changed, it's this. And if we give them, if you find that you give women, if you find that women has, you've been able to dictate your relationships, you'll be called an asshole. That's the first thing. They'll call you these cliche things because, well, it really depends. Again, that's why I say people should work on how they talk to people because I mean that's what it's all about. Um, Farmer says, yeah, it could be like that, but women instantly judge us based on how we present ourselves. For example, a bitch can disqualify you for having an Android, but if you have an iPhone, you seem as a litany. That's true. That's one of the little minor little details that goes into like not really pre-selection, but it could be seen under some type of like me growing up with my mom. My mom used to always spoil me, keep me with nice clothes and shit. So I think certain qualities and even features like always having a haircut and looking like a famous person they know or some shit like implies that other women might like you and shit like that. Like I think having an iPhone kind of plays into it's like another it's a gadget, you know what I'm saying? And it makes you seem like you got shit going excuse me, got shit going on and um it's just an accessory like having a car, having anything else. But I knew players in high school that had flip phones, senior year, flip phone. I'm talking some of the most smoothest people I've ever met, flip phone. I bet you that flip phone has some female numbers in it though. And I know people with iPhones who got females in it. So I can't really go too in depth on that one because I got an Android right now, but I also got an iPhone that's broke. Um, so I feel like it's a balance being able to go either way. Either way it go, I don't feel like women judge that much off the iPhone, off the phone. To be honest, I think they really be judging like, how does he make me feel? It goes it's just biology. Like, how does this nigga make me feel? I don't even think they go off the looks for real. It's like, how is he talking to me? Is he making sense? Is the shit that he's saying making me feel butterflies or no? Do he know how to frame his sentences the right way? And again, the same thing that seems manipulative is the thing that they're looking to for them to get crushed. It's the same thing that they're looking for them to let you, to let you in the door. So it's like they're checking to see if you're a smooth operator. And then again, women are confusing because they're throwing you off by telling you that they don't want what they do want and that they do want what they don't care if they got at all. Like they don't care if the guy got an iPhone. They don't care if he got a nice car. They don't care about anything but how you're talking to them. And that's the unbelievable thing and the magic in this one. He said, but then again, you are in the business and pleasing women or honoring yourself as a man. Yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, you can say that pleasing women and honor. But first of all, just being, like I said, integral in life in a sense. Like I really don't really did like. That's why I put lifestyle coach and then dating because it's like when I was making this channel, I was really trying to figure it out. Like I'm like, yeah, I know I'm gonna do some dating shit, but like I'm like, man, what's more important than dating? It's only probably a couple things, but life itself will always prioritize. To always. The last thing I want anyone on the planet to think is that I don't love myself, and I think that women, when they first meet guys, they can't tell who's who from who's who. And growing up, I always all I had was me, myself, and I. And a couple family members, a couple friends. And again, it's so easy to lose integrity in life depending on what you're eating, who you're hanging with, what you think about yourself, what you're listening to. And women are so used to coming across guys who lack integrity. So from what I see is that if you don't got a life, you know what I'm saying, or you don't value your life, like bro was just saying, Facts was just saying something about, if you're out here swindling, then it could, yeah, karma is real. So you want to have a balance. You want to know yourself, and you want to lead by example. And that's another thing that turns women the fuck on. Like, I mean, that's why I say be yourself, whether you're doing bad in the world or good. The one thing that you could bet is that if you're leading by example, people tend to trust you. Like, oh, if you play with fire, if you're in the voodoo or you do magic or you do this or you do, if people can see that you're genuine and that's who you are and you're into that shit, then people will gather. Okay, either I got to stay away from them or I got to either give a fuck about what you're doing. Um, but they're not going to um, what you call it. Respect will be in here. Let's put it like that, because you can't knock somebody for being who they are and showing you. See, people see our first language as humans is kinetic, it's not verbal. So I'm doing a lot of talking right now, but if I take this camera and show y'all me talking to a female, it'll probably do 1K, 2K, 3K, because people want the kinetic. The kinetic matters. So again, yeah, me being a lifestyle coach was always who I was. And I love science. I grew up in school. My favorite topics was gym, science, and health class. As you can see today, chemistry is dating. I talk about food, that's health, and I'm definitely trying to get back in the gym a little bit, working out. But I could work out at the park. Like I said, there's many ways to work out. Um, but yeah, in science, everything is science. Life is science. I'm a lifestyle coach. Life is science. I'm creating a product called Biome, which means environment, and I'm creating that because again, it's not all about women whatsoever. Women come with the territory of you being smart. Women come with the territory of you loving yourself and being a genuine um, person and having humility and things like that. Those are things that, and again, it's like the word byproduct means they're either there or they're not. You should still just do you type shit. Like they're either there. That's why I say whoever is not meant to be in your life, they're just gonna fall off anyway. It does not matter. So anything that seems manipulative or anything, you don't even gotta worry about that. You're here for a reason. You want to learn how to talk to the opposite sex, or you want to learn how to have a healthier life or a funner life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't nobody be judging them when they want to go out to the club and they want to go do this and you'll do that. But that's what they want to do. So I will never feel guilty about learning language, learning what makes me more attractive, learning what makes me happier. I would never give a fuck. Because that's to me not self love. So as soon as I do that, what am I letting females tell me not to do that? No wonder why they don't want to fuck with you. You're letting a weaker gender tell you what to do. I would never do that. I think me being raised by women, I've been there before, and it's a waste of time. Now, can we be friends with females? Yeah, especially if you know how to convey personality and mouthpiece. But for the guys who don't know how to do that, that's going to always be a cynical thing to do because women will always overpower anybody who don't know how to communicate. So that's where that happens at. You got to know how to handle women, not control them, but handle them. Fact says
That's why it's most important to be true to yourself. Might find a value with the same Android. Um, yeah, type shit. I'm the one who created the words type shit too. For anybody who don't know, when I went to Job Corps, it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like nobody wasn't saying that back then, right? Now the whole world saying it. They don't know who started it. I started it. Me and my friend Hakeem from Job Corps. When people would ask me a question, I would be the same way I am now, trying to explain some shit, and then I'll be like, yeah, and I'll be like, they'll be like, yeah, so this happened, and I'll be like, yeah, this happened and that happened, and then I'll be like, when I think about certain analogies, I'll be like, it's not fully what I'm saying, but it's kind of what I'm saying, and I'll be like, oh, type shit. And then my friend Hakeem caught on that I was saying that, and he started teasing me for saying that. He'll start saying talking, and he'll be like, type shit, right? And I'll be like, yo, you think you funny that I then we'll start just doing that as like a comedy, like in front of people, like on some joking shit, like in front of like the pretty girls and everything. We'll just start talking, and then we'll start acting like idiots and like type shit, and we'll keep doing that shit over and over. And the word is so easy to say and so universal that it goes with everything type shit. And so I started to see everybody using it, and it was even people who was hating ass niggas who was doing it, and I was like, yeah, this shit's. I didn't even know. I thought it was just gonna stay in the school. That's how I didn't even know, like, But that was years ago, and now I hear everybody saying it, and I'm pretty sure that I created that shit. So for all the people, I'm always gonna say that whenever I think about it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's some women out here with androids. I know you're being funny, but it's some women out here with androids. Some women out here, I mean, it don't. To me, it doesn't matter the phone. It doesn't matter a lot of things, bro. It's like I think I'm more genuine than what people think. Like I really just be looking at like, yo, what type of person, like what type of energy, what type of thoughts, what type of food do you eat, what type of places do you shop, like to go, you know what I'm saying? And again, most guys they don't know how to ask women questions. These guys, including myself for many years, just would assume that because I look good or because I'm a guy that I'm somebody. Period. And that's the ego, and that's they're not wrong for thinking that because we're trained to think that way by music, culture, and just whatever the fuck. And if you don't think that way, then you're not cool, which is the biggest lie. Because again, it's not really about you. It's just about the questions that you're asking people. Like right now, I'm doing a whole bunch of talking, but if I was asking y'all some questions that really got to y'all, like to make y'all really start talking about how y'all feel more than things that y'all think, more like things that make y'all imagine and how y'all feel about certain situations. Um, the bond would or the rapport would kind of like latch way harder, and that's kind of all I'm telling. That's basically all I'm teaching and telling people to do with females is to because this is what I'm doing. Instead of me being statement, which I was only thank you for the likes. I would make a lot of statements. And yeah, there will be some sexy shit I'm saying to these women, and it'll be some shit that it'll be some cocky or confident or arrogant shit I'm conveying, or just some leading or some things of these natures like that. But I really came to my senses like, yo, women don't really give a fuck about ego. They care. They genuinely. This is why they will leave a guy for a dyke. Because women get women. They understand women, so they understand like feelings and like they understand rapport and they understand chemistry and they understand like, hey, like a woman want to be touched at this point in the conversation or hold the door or think ahead of the curve, or instead of me talking, let me make people feel special. Let me ask questions. Let me do this. And these things are what hacks the brain. These things are what make a woman say, I like it here. I'm a cheat on my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like I'm not even being funny. Like this is what really those these are what evokes those type of things that make you wonder like how did this happen? But obviously if you're all about sex, then you shouldn't do these things because I do feel like if you misuse anything, then you're misusing. Like if I misuse a gun, then I'm liable to, for that type of energy. But if I'm honestly just protecting myself or being proactive with what I got, you know, um, then to me, I'm just a citizen. I'm an average civilian just being um, outgoing, to say the least. Uh, nah, facts. Fact says, bitch, you gotta work for this dick. You do. You gotta, and that's the thing. Like again, I'm gonna stay on this topic now because y'all are helping me to convey what I'm saying. If you go direct, if you go direct with a woman, she's gonna automatically assume she's that you want her. So she's even if you're thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go direct and then I'm gonna go and reverse engineer this shit and I'm gonna make her feel what you can't make someone feel something. I'm gonna make her feel like um she got to work for this dick. When I know good and well the only reason I approached her was because she was my type, or she would be good enough to fuck. But I'm gonna that's lying and manipulating if you ask me. But I don't done that before, and to be honest, I think that puts a woman in a position to act crazy because she's like, women never forget the first impression. Like they never the first thing they ask themselves is, "Wait, hold on. You approached me. If you didn't approach me, I wouldn't have said nothing." That's what that's their main argument. If you ain't approached me, why are you acting? I had a girl tell me, "Why do you act so bougie?" And yeah, I like the comment because it's a flattering comment, but at the same time, it's like I know she was speaking from ego. She's that fucking female ego is saying, talking to her is going, "Bitch, who this nigga think he is? He came after you. Now he trying to act like he don't got time to call you or text you." And yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you go direct, you're automatically sub communicating that I want to fuck you, which to me is it's kind of idiotic. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing it for so long that I can honestly call it that because just because you're a guy doesn't mean you have to show your hand. You see what I'm saying? Sophistication is important in life. Uh, I don't have to let you know I want to fuck you. I don't. That's like putting myself in a vulnerable position for what? And then not only that, they women are will never let you know that they want to fuck you. Well, nah, they will. I mean, they have to me in the past, but that was at younger ages. But I'm saying like these women are the queens of stealth. They're so stealthy that it's not even fair for you to just let them know you want to fuck them. And again, if you can honestly manage your hormones or manage your control your penis or whatever, it's not a lie. You know what I'm saying? If you could say to yourself, you know, I wouldn't mind going home to watch Tiana Trump today. Changes the game. Changes the game. Yeah, you still doing something that could be considered a weakness, but it's none of her business. Women would rather go home and play with the roles every day before they let you know what they want to do. Oh, I felt like sucking some dick, but I'd rather just go do this because I don't want him to know because then that's gonna make me look like I'm in a one down position. So they're smart enough and more disciplined than the man, which makes for a It makes for a very weird situation. So either way you put this shit is off balance. So I'm the guy bringing the balance. I'm saying, you know what? Traditionally speaking, yeah, men we always been horny, but civilization would not be able to thrive if guys wasn't taking sacrifices. And sacrifice mean like I'd rather be your friend than to smash you. But it's just understanding. It's just knowledge. Like I'm not gonna smash you. Period. Now, and it's the ability to say just because I don't smash you doesn't mean you're not my friend. So it's just like an understanding there. It's like trust is built when she could come around and you're not trying to fuck. And trust has to be there because what are all relationships um, centered around? So, so yeah, how can she work for it if she's assuming like, okay, you're coming in, you're flirting, you're approaching, you're doing your opener, you're approaching, or you're doing your approach, and you let her know you want to take her on a date. So she could just go into that process and just whether she assume you want to fuck or not, she's just going with it type shit. But um, I don't know, man. I feel like women find reasons to kind of cut you off, or maybe not sometime. But again, from my personal experience, I honestly feel like they're not seeing the best part. They're seeing what they don't want to see in you. They're seeing what they're trained to see. Like Mr. Lucario, I'm sure y'all know who that is. And you from New York. You probably know who Mr. Lucario is. He literally said women have an automatic response. People do though. Like if you walk up to a person, they really want to know why are you talking to me. That's an automatic response. But the game I was gonna give y'all in this conversation, um, it was gonna humilitize that shit or neutralize that shit. And they keep talking about this fucking button. All right, man. So, all right, let me see. Because I'm about to read this joint. I'm about to read this example. Small talk. So people got to get better at. Well, I'm people. I got to get better at my small talk. So that's what I was working on before I started this live. And I'm about to read it, but I want to just read a little bit more what y'all said. So Mark said, if she's an introvert, then direct would be better. See, I don't agree with that. Like, I got a female that literally lives like in the complexes type shit, and it's like I honestly think that, and when I say indirect, I'm talking about like small talk, like creating small talk versus letting her know what you want. Now with her, I can't let her know what I want because I don't really know if okay. I'm under this is what I think. Just because I like the way you look doesn't mean I want to fuck you. Saying that you want something implies you had it before. I want some Subway. Well, a scientific or a smart person would say, or a father figure even, son, how you know you want Subway? See, nobody is questioning a lot of people nowadays because you grow up, you think you want. How do you know you want Subway? Oh, I want Subway because I know that Italian combo tastes like blank. It tastes good. It tastes great. It tastes phenomenal. How can I be honest with a straight face? Tell this woman I want to fuck you if I don't know what it's like to do it. philosophical question, psychological, whatever. But again, it's a will question because my life, my experiences dictate and tell me that there's women that were not even that pretty that I fucked that had good pussy. So if that's the case, that inadvertently shows and tells me that there's some beautiful women that went to your high school that you probably still think about today. That you can't even imagine them not having no good coochie. Can't even imagine it because you tricked yourself at a young age into believing that because she's so fucking sexy to me. Now I'm thinking about the Spanish chick that I used to chill with. She was so much my type mentally that I can't even imagine it being any other way. That's sad. And it's thirsty. And when you really wake up from that nightmare, you really begin to straighten out your spine as a man and say, wait, hold on. Do she deserve the dick? Like, all jokes aside, like, there's probably the most toxic woman in the world. I mean, and besides all that, fuck it. Like, I'm just saying, this is the way the mind sets you up for failure at an early age and keeps you looping in that negative idea that rejection is actually a thing when it's not really a real thing. But what I'm saying is that it's what you believe. And Will doesn't believe it. I don't believe that, you're rejecting me because you just met me. It's like if my mom was like, do you want to go to Panda Express? And I'm like, Mom, I never had Panda Express. Fuck Panda Express. She's like, well, you're not gonna try it? It's pretty good. I'm like, nah, fuck Panda Express because I never had it before. And it's Chinese food and I don't eat Chinese food. Now that makes sense because I don't like Chinese food. But I still can't say with a straight face that I don't like Panda Express because I never had Panda Express. That's what I'm trying to say. So if dating is marketing yourself and you're not like fully the best version of yourself, or you're still working on yourself, or because you got to realize somebody like me, I went through different like phases of life. Like there was one point I had waves, I had haircut, I had this, I had that. One point I was a basketball player, I had this, I so I understand the evolution of women go under this circumstance, but they might not go under that circumstance. But either way it go, if you're not talking to the ass the right way, you fell. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the one thing that I could say about game that stands the test of time. Big, fat, skinny, you know, ugly, whatever you are, if you're not talking to them the right way, nothing on earth matters. Because what are women really going for? They're going for how you made them feel. What is every brand or business or everything in the planet? What is it going for? How you made the experience? How did you make me feel? Can you turn me on or are you just thirsty? This makes a world of difference. Can you turn me on or are you just thirsty? Do you know how to touch a woman or do you just want to touch a woman? Do you study the game or are you just curious about the game? Are you, because for so long I was just curious about it. I'm like, man, I'm a good looking guy. Women already like me. I'm just curious about the shit. I want to know why Shorty was acting crazy. Let me go look at a dating coach. What do you tell me? But did I really want to get my feet? Like, do I really want to be 2 feet deep in this shit? Like, now I do. I've grown to realize that this is a skill that if you don't hone or get, you spend you probably have a miserable life overall. Because imagine going to a bowling alley right now, and the waitress behind the thing or whatever she is, the barista or whatever is behind it is just bad. And I've been in this situation, literally open up conversation, talk to her, mouthpiece, here nor there at the time, and talk myself in and out the pussy in less than 10 minutes. I'm talking like it was like I would talk myself in it, and then to my experience, what my mind tells me, I would talk myself into it and then out of it because knowing what to say and know what not to say means everything. So dictating the terms and agreement of the conversation means everything. So if you're talking to them wrong, how can you say I'm getting rejected if you're talking to them wrong? If I'm driving the car wrong, how can I say there's no gas in the car? Which is chemistry, which gets the car running. How can I say if I don't know if I'm driving it wrong? I put the fucking thing in the gas. I put the fucking the drive in neutral or some shit. Like I'm driving wrong. You're not talking to them the right way. You've never been a speaker. I've never been interested in speaking, even to my friends in my neighborhood. That's why I started this conversation off talking about that. Never even questioning how good of a speaker I could become. I never knew nothing about poetry. I never knew nothing about journaling. I never knew nothing about family. I'm outside with the homies, friends. So, what NLP teaches you is how to basically create patterns of language patterns. And I came to the understanding like yesterday or the day before that when you're talking to a woman or you're in a situation, a room or wherever with a woman, what you really want to do is have patterns that um, um, what the fuck is the word? That kind of like tight knit in with or cohesive or coherent with what's being said. So say she comes in the room and she's talking about fucking any fucking say she say anything, a lighter or do you have a lighter or you said you was gonna have a candle. Where's the candle at? That's supposed to be lit or some shit. So you can just talk small talk conversation to her, or you can have a pattern about candles or a pattern about anything. Um, the pattern is important because what it does is it allows you to speak. Um, and whether the pattern is a question or a statement, I mean, it does make a little bit of a difference, but either way it go, the pattern is built to induce, which means to force a certain feeling, a certain feeling, or like to induce a certain emotion or a certain state or a certain a process. So this is seduction talk now. Now we're going into the indirect game or whatever. Basic conversation, but what you're doing is you're embedding shit in the conversation. So at that point, you're kind of what they would say in the good old days when I was young. He's talking over my head. It's as if he's talking over my head. Um, Good seducers do that a lot. They say a lot of things that are vague that could be taken either which way. Now, for this whole conversation, I've been trying to be very as explanatory as I could. But even in doing that, like I said, that's not seductive. That's just a guy trying to stress a point. And what's crazy is I told my mom the other day, I said, um, I learned from a seduction coach or a great teacher that he told us that guys, and you can hear it in my voice right now, we speak in a more staccato way, rep, rep, like a repetition, or it's like if you could consciously get in your head right now and think back about how I was talking all the time, you'll be like, nah, he was kind of like pushing his voice at us and trying to get us to see his like I want to say POV, but point of view. I don't want to say that, but point of view, trying to get to see his point of view. And what people tend to do on a biological level or emotional level, they tend to kind of like naturally like be like, I don't want to feel forced to see what this guy is telling me. But if you're really smart, you come under the radar, you understand that like uh, it's a way to do that, to come in under the radar. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's a way to uh, make your tone, which I haven't been doing this whole video. It's a way to lower your tone, which signals power, control. It signals that I'm in control of myself, which is another thing that will make a woman say, I'm not buying it. I'm not trying to fuck him. So sending voice messages to women, like Fact said the other day, getting on the phone with a woman, if you lower your tone and talk really slow, she will have no choice. And this is what I'm saying. We're calling manipulation the wrong things. This is not manipulation. I mean, in a way it is, but it's positive manipulation, because a man that's not manipulating is kind of just probably just on the weaker side of things. So knowing when to lower your tone and having patterns in place that do what? Signal to the woman that this guy might be trying to fuck me. But it's beautiful because that's how I want them to realize it. I want them to come into awareness that that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want them to, because people say, "Oh, you should just tell her off the rip. You should just tell her off the rip." But that's understandable. But I would have to know that I want to fuck her for me to tell her that. So by me communicating with her and talking to her, obviously that is devious, but at the same time, it's actually depends on who's doing it. Because I honestly feel like as a human being, why would I tell a stranger I want to fuck them? I just don't think that that's ethical either. I just it can like I said again, it depends who's speaking. It can be ethical, but it can also be manipulation because it's the intention behind what you're doing at the end of the day. But let me see what he said. Introvert then direct could be better. Yeah, to go back to what Farmer's saying. Yeah, shorty that be walking by that I be seeing her like I spoke with her a couple of times. Like I feel like she's the better thing to do for me to do would be to open up a basic small talk conversation. I honestly feel like that. I honestly feel like uh, to walk up to her when we have very little rapport and very little understanding of each other and no relationship whatsoever, and to let her know I want to take you out and I want to do this and I want to do that can be highly attractive, right? But at the same time, I feel like that's more of a false impression than to try to just to get to know someone just on a regular minuscule level because you're really letting her sit and sleep on the information and which women want to do anyway. They kind of want to grow into something with you, but if you forcing it all in, at the beginning, even though it looks good, it looks shiny to be this way. She's kind of like making a split decision instead of making a developed, a well grown, like it develops like the one that's indirect. I feel like is more irreversible and more unmistakable because basically what they're saying is what you're basically doing is you're putting in enough work with the female to the point where she can eat off of that shit a lot longer. Like I know he really likes me because X, Y, and Z. She doesn't have to be up in her head like I think it's cool to go direct with a female you meet in a bar, or I think it's cool to go direct with a female you just trying to fuck, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't did that. I mean, like I think it's just cool to just because you don't even like got to do that. You could just flirt with her. But that's what I'm saying in this whole conversation is like I'm in the art of having a great conversation and embedding things in it which spark butterflies and attraction and spark all type of shit. Because again, if you could do that, then you're a smooth operator. If you could do that, then you are actually gamed up. You are actually what we talk about on this channel. If you have to lean on just being direct, because I was leaning on just being direct like years after years, and I was getting a lot of rejections. Now I was getting a lot of more exceptions than I ever got because I was what taking a lot more shots than I ever was. But it's not longevity in my opinion because you're just not seducing me. You know, it's not really seductive. It's more so attractive, yeah, but not seductive. Which to me, seductive is more sticky. It's more harder to. It's more to seductive is more like she can't. Like I made a post yesterday from Corey Wayne. If she's chasing you, she can't be rejecting you at the same time. So that quote might go over the head if you think like it might go over your head if you're thinking of like, oh, I'm saying little flirty shit to her to get her to chase me. But if you're seducing her, it's way more. It's way more biological to the woman than just flirting with her. Now, if you flirt with her, you may be inducing some smiles, some blushing, a little bit of feelings for you, but she's not really thinking about you that much. She's like, I like this guy. I want to see, you know, if he's gonna fuck me or I want to see what he's gonna do. Like it's more she's coming from a logical standpoint still. Like, what's the point of her being a woman if she's not coming from her feminine space? She's still coming from her logical space, which is like you know a woman coming from her logical space when she's like contemplating shit. But you know she's coming from her feminine space when she's sold on some shit. Because a woman can't help but to like a man. And it's irreversibly liking him. It's not a reversible thing. It's not like, oh, let me make an excuse or let me flake or let me, it's like, nah, he is, you know, moving right. You know, he's saying the right things. He's doing things. Well, let's keep, see what y'all say. I might have to make a whole new video and just, but I might just say it in here because we're only an hour and that ain't too long. Um, Laugh out loud, bro. Last live when I told you I was going to holler at five girls, although I was one in five. You hollered at one out of five. Uh, Facts are hard in these streets, in these New York streets. Uh, you don't think this is all a form of manipulation, whether good or bad, even if the other party doesn't realize you're still trying to strategically affect the subconscious mind. Mm, do I think it's manipulation? Yeah. But is it? Should you feel guilty about uh manipulating? I think it really depends. I think it depends on your intention for manipulation. Like that's like saying school is bad because they manipulated us all to go to school, but it is a form of bad to a lot of people, but to a lot of other people, they see the use in that. So again, it really depends on who you're talking to and how you vet that person and do you know who you're talking to. Now, like I said, there's females in my past that we already fell out. That's why they're not here today. And that was a signal to me to let them go and not chase them. I might have inboxed them one more time or messaged them one more time, and then I seen they left me on red or they didn't, really give me no attention, so I just let them go. And so to me, it's not about the manipulative thing. It's about because women want to be manipulated. That's why they like shows like General Hospital or soap operas and stuff like that because they like um, to be controlled. They like the control of a man. They like the power of a man. But we're trained to see our strongest aspects as sour or bad, and that's why the world is easy. It's easy for you to be manipulated by other men, other races of men, because you don't believe in manipulation. You honestly see it as I'm wrong. I have to wait for her to like me for me to eat. I understand boundaries and personal spaces and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, but I just don't understand because it's not like you're not taking anything. You're you're having a basic conversation and you're being attractive. What do people want you to be? Not attractive? I'm sure that's what they want. Why? Because it's more pussy for them. Because women are going to fuck somebody, and if you eliminate yourself by just sitting there and not trying to fuck, then you're just holding the door for that alpha to barge through the door and fuck as many women as possible. Because again, you're saying subconscious mind. Well, it just depends how you play it, bro. Like again, I know people who tell their girlfriends like, "Yeah, I'm into this, I'm into that," and because they tell their women they're into this, into that, their women's like, "Okay, well, shit, I like the fact that you're into this and into that because that turns me on." If and they understand if you wasn't into this and into that, you might be some loser, and I wouldn't want to fuck with you. And so manipulation is a tricky topic because it's like going to the gym is manipulation. You know, fixing your bed before she come over is manipulation. Um, getting a haircut is manipulation. Putting my shoes on is a manipulation. Uh, jogging in place is manipulation. Getting money is manipulation. What isn't manipulation? I think I'll make a video about that, like a live video, because I need real answers on that. Because I want to know. Because every answer is going to be different. Like, is it manipulation if a girl gets a BBL, but I think she looks sexy as fuck with that BBL? Because that's what happens when you learn game. They're like, oh my god, this guy is like a fantasy or some shit. But when they sober up from the attraction or they're logically thinking, they might be like, this guy ain't shit because he could get any girl. Da, da, da. But that's a form of jealousy and that's a form of hate or a form of because again, at the end of the day, you can women are adults. God give us all free will. If you don't like, if you think he's sexy, but you don't like him, but you can't help but like him because he's attractive. But I know that should sound crazy, but people can like something or someone like, for instance, Donald Trump. Like I don't got no problem with him, but you can like him because he has a personality that's funny and shit, and still walk away from the situation and say, "I'm not on his team though. I'm on my own team. I rock with my people. This is how I move." You don't have to. You don't have to take it to heart because that's again that's where The female is being manipulative. The guy is not being manipulative. He's just playing the game, playing his hand as he may. And if someone takes that personal, that's not the game. That's just a person that's in their feelings. Because what they're saying is, hey, why don't you just be yourself? Why don't you just, show a girl your ugly side? Show her your vulnerabilities. Why don't you just, wake up with crust in your eyes and, not wash your face? Why don't you just not brush your teeth and just let your teeth rot and fall out? Why don't you just do this and why don't you just do that? It's emotions. And like I said earlier, that's cool. I understand emotions. I deal with emotions. I feel for emotions, and I relate with what people think. But it's just the mere fact of that humans are supposed to follow their heart and do the things they want to do. And because of that, if you think that that BBL is going to make you get your guy of your dreams, I'd be wrong to even say anything about that. But just because I'm learning how to talk better, or I'm learning how to articulate better, or I'm learning how to communicate, that's a basic thing they taught us in high school, language arts, and in elementary school. Because I'm getting more educated on language. You're telling me that because you don't work on your language, and I'm not talking to you facts, I'm talking about females. This basically what they're doing. They're basically crying. They're basically whining. They're saying, "Oh my God, this guy, he got a mouthpiece. He know how to talk. He's manipulative." Well, where's your father, your mother at? That's gonna tell you, well, then get away, stay away. Well, you don't want to go there because that's gonna make you more curious and bring you back. But what I'm saying is that as an adult, you can't run to your parents. What you should do, what's good, MVP? How you doing, bro? We talking about a whole lot, whole lot, whole lot. Shout out to MVP in the chat, man. My guy. We really just chopping up a lot. I ain't even talk. I ain't even get to my the structure of the conversation that I was gonna do, because I'm just chopping it up for real, chatting away. But because Fact said, what he say? Fact said, you don't think this is all a form of manipulation? Dot dot. Whether good or bad, even if the other party doesn't realize, question mark, you're still trying to strategically affect the subconscious mind. And I was saying that I don't think that I was saying that I do think it's manipulation, but not all manipulation is bad because it's about your intentions. Um, Everything is manipulation. Everything under the sun is manipulation. And I honestly feel that way. And I honestly feel like there's people with bad intent and there's people with good intent. Now, if you look at someone's intentions and you read the motherboard of or the smorgasbord, I don't know if that's the word, of their intent, then you can go a little bit more into an what's the word? Inquiry, questioning. Like Drake, I wish I could fuck every girl in the world. This ain't what that is. That ain't this. Now, do I kind of still resonate with that lyric? I mean, I'm a guy. But at the end of the day, on some real shit, people that's fed ain't hungry. So if you feel that way, it's probably because you wasn't getting no pussy the whole time. Make sure live chat is on, because I think it's a delay on chat. Nah, live chat is on, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, my guy. I'm out the yeah, I got it on. I got it on, bro. Um, so yeah, we could talk more about manipulation another day, because like that, like I have a hard time staying on topic, as y'all can see, bro. It's been like 2 hours, and I just this happens, bro, and I love it though because again, I want like whatever the organic thing is like how it goes. He said you got to be manipulative. I mean, again, and that's another thing. I don't think many men take stances on that word. They don't take no stance, so it leaves it open for women to come in and say, oh well, you know, um, this guy used to like in high school, he used me for my car, or he did this, or I used to deal with this pimp, or I used to deal with this guy from, this gang or whatever. And what does that do? That makes them have reference points, and then they make a general statement saying that that's like that's like just not it's not ethical or moral to do that. Like it's like Osama bin Laden blowing up some shit, and then we were like, yo, everyone who's Muslim, you know, we can't fuck with it. It's like, I mean, you're not wrong for that, but you know good and well deep in your heart to hearts that you're being soft because, well, you're being protected first, which is cool at first, but you're not healing from one person's actions can't create the blueprint of your thing. So again, for me, it's like you don't have to necessarily be manipulative, but if if you like a skill and you're honestly genuinely liking a skill, then uh, if you ask me, chances are you're not going to manipulate with the skill. You're just going to learn the skill and you're just going to kind of like ethically grow. You know what I'm saying? You're going to ethically grow because that's not my intent. My intent is genuinely not to like, yeah, like I know what a sexy female looks like. Like you feel me? In my mind, I grew up, I watched porn like everybody else, you feel me? Like in my mind, like it's not I'm probably not like I'm probably not gonna turn down women I'm attracted to sexually. Like if they wanna fuck, like I'm probably not gonna turn the shit down. Like, and that's a great thing. Like today in this world, that's a A plus. Like that's magnificent. But at the same time that I learned more game, I can actually say no. Like no. Like I literally turned the female down the other day that I knew her in high school. Then I ain't seen her in a minute. We locked in on the bus, and then I'm talking to her. Then something happened where I'm like, damn, she being a little bit like resistant, or like she's kind of like it's like in person she was giving me all this attention and shit. Like, oh yeah, I want to do this. She was basically hugging all on me, like just giving me like unlimited amount of attention, like letting me know, like, because I'm like, yo, you be over there all the time, or you just visiting? Because she was near my crib, like in the area type shit, and just like she just was making it so accessible, and she still was actually, even when I had let her know, like, I'm not trying to like, I'm good on you, like I'm not trying to mess with you, because it be the little things, bro. It's like you just you weird, like you're trying to like, I don't know. I ain't even gonna say she weird. I'm just gonna say that shit ain't work because it just didn't work. It just didn't work because she was trying to control shit, and I don't like controlling women. Now it's a difference between like it's all about how you say and how you do what you do. Like I think I asked her for a photo or some shit. Like, somebody gonna probably call me petty for this shit, but I'm really standing on this shit. Like I asked her for a photo or some shit, and she was like, "No, you know how I look." But how you gonna tell me no? I know how you look when on the bus you literally told me you about to go to the store and grab an outfit. Then I said in your face, I said, yeah, I want you to send me a photo, da 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 da, and like I said something about sending me a photo. So let's just say she was agreeing with everything I was saying in my face, even like, oh yeah, I could come over. I'm gonna come over. Like, she just was selling it, making it seem like she was really on that. And then when we got in text, she still was on some like, she still was she's a good texter. I'm not gonna make it seem like she wasn't one of them ones that was gonna ignore the text, or she was a good texter. But what happened was that she said one wrong thing, and that costed the set. I'm putting in the chat. Like people don't understand that I can't be manipulating because I don't want to deal with a lot of people. Like it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. I only want a specific type of woman, and if you don't fit that caliber, then I don't want you. And to be honest, again, this channel is a lifestyle channel. It's based in science. It's rooted in chemistry, and that means both of us have to be attracted to one another. We are so indoctrinated and brainwashed that if you think that you can't renege on some shit, like okay, I approached you, da 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 da, because she was like, oh, you gonna do it? Because I told her like I'm not feeling you, I'm good. She was like, oh, you gonna do all that just over a photo? I just never wrote her back. Like, not even gonna. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even going to justify or explain anything to you because on a subconscious level, I'm communicating that you matter and you don't. You don't matter, and you matter in terms of the universe, in the world, and the collective nature and things like that. But I feel like it's not that she don't matter. It's that if I explain a reason with her, then I devalue myself indirectly, and then it makes it to where I feel like I don't matter because what I said I meant. And for you to even question what I'm saying implies that you don't really respect me or men to a certain degree because you don't have to do the action I'm telling you to do, but you should have enough understanding to be like, okay, if I let him down, I'm gonna say it a certain type of way. The way she said it was like, um, the way she said it was like, no, you know what I look like. And y'all know I ain't playing about that shit. Because if you want to talk to me like that, that means you're trying to get me to check you early, like too early to be checking you. And not only that, like I know women are used to dealing with guys that let them get away with talking crazy. So you do have to check these women, and I do check women. But again, I knew her from high school, and I just didn't feel like she was worth the what you call it. So that's just how I felt, and that's just how I went about it. And again, when you respect yourself, you're not gonna explain yourself. Like I might explain to y'all, but it's like in reality, like I'm not about to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to do that shit. But that's the thing about the game. Like you have to vet women correctly because, like I said, you may think you wanna fuck, but do you really wanna fuck her? Because as guys, we think linear. We don't think long wise or crab wise. We don't think this way. Like, oh, what if this come from that, or what if that come from that, or what if this come from that, or what if I fuck her and then she get pregnant and then she's not who I thought she was. We don't think like that naturally. So when she said that to me, it was a red flag that I couldn't overlook. And I mean, I'm happy when a female say certain do or say or do certain things because again, like I I feel like too many guys they sit around and just wait, and they sit around and they just wait and they want to see like, oh, well maybe I could still fuck her or maybe I could still do this or listen. I respect your boundaries, but you don't want to send me a photo, but don't say it like don't address me like I'm just anybody. Like no, you know what I look like. Like what you? Why you even bringing that energy to a nigga? Like I'm not. I'm a different breed. Like you can't bring any type of energy to me and just think I'm just gonna sit there and just accept it. And I don't see so many people get dragged through the mud for years in toxic relationships that I'm just I'm very hip to manipulation. So that's another thing. I mean, people could say we're manipulative, but like I'm not gonna say it takes one to know one. But what I will say is, uh, a guy who been around the streets or been around the block, he's seen the tricks enough to know how the tricks work. So it's like he knows, like, okay, you're coming in, you're already challenging me, you're already pushing back, you're already telling me no, you're already debating me, making a you're already making an environment that's unhealthy. So you can't tell someone you love yourself. You have to show them. You have to show them. I don't tell you anything. I just show you. Because if you really love yourself, but maybe you take her too serious. I thought about that too. I thought about that, bro. I appreciate that comment because I thought about that. But I know her personality, and I think I got good eyesight as far as like personalities, if that makes sense. When I say eyesight, what I mean is I have an intuition. Like I could see the shit. Like I hung around her on the bus. Like I knew her in high school. She was cool, like cool shit. I could tell she's older now, so she's on that freaky wave. You know, she's like she's seen me. She kept staring at me on the bus. So I opened up the conversation with her. You know me, I'm a straight shooter. Like so I'm really minding my business, but I see her out the corner of my eye. I'm like, well, she kind of cute, like, but I'm not. I'm like, I'm not just going. I approach so many women that I'm like, today the one day I'm just gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? Today, but I do see you. So, but it was me. It was an older woman in front of me, and then it was her. It was only three people on the bus. The older woman ended up getting off the bus. So when the older woman got off the bus, I'm like, okay, I might say something to her. So I turn and I look. As I look, she's looking at me, and she keep looking at me. Now I open up the conversation, and she's like, "Oh, I know you." I'm like, "Oh shit, hold on." Da da da. So we chop it up. Remember? So we reminiscing, and basically we have like a probably an 8 minute talk. By the end of that 8 minute talk, she telling me how I look good with my dreads and stuff like that. She's like, I don't know, maybe it's the dreads. Like she just was like selling it, like she was selling it some fantasy type shit. Like, oh, like it's like you meet a girl from high school that was cute back then, and you might even would have smashed back then, but now she older, so it's like you like, damn, she really fuckable, like you know what I'm saying. So on some other shit, so she's selling it type shit. Um, and she uh there's a lot of details that go into it. Um, she started hugging on me and shit, just being extra accommodating and shit like that, like extra, like just like selling it, like and remember what I'm saying. When you've been around the block, you just know, like why you being so extra, like you feel me? Like I understand, I'm you know, I understand what's going on, but at the same time, it's like I'm not taking her serious because if she was, I see what you're saying though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, man. I just feel like again, I don't know. I think it was the way things panned out because I was trying to have her come over and she was trying to come over all quick and shit, and we both was agreeing on her coming over and shit, and then it was like one day, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just was the way shit was playing out. And then when I asked for a photo, it was like she acted like I asked her for like some other shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I know I could get a female, if I know I could get a female to play with her pussy and shit, like, um, and send photos of that and send like videos of that, and like, if I know how freaky women really are, why would I even give a fuck? Like, so like when you say taking her serious, it's like, am I or am I not? Like, I think I wasn't taking her serious. Like, I think I was taking myself serious, but I was taking her kind of under serious because I'm like, I know you from high school. Like, you cute, but you're not. See, I'm one of them egotistical motherfuckers. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm a Leo or if it's because I honestly feel like men who genuinely, like, in the whole community, we talk about like um, um, value, like a high value man and all that shit. And it's crazy to me because I never ever got into the red pill or any of that. So I never really spoke in that way, like, oh, like, I'm a high value man, or I never even used the word value growing. Like, I never really thought about it. But in my neighborhood, I had a lot of value, and I still do. And if I really was to meditate on that idea of value and not value, I could have been way more advanced a long time ago. So she was on me because she know in high school that, oh shit, he's one of the cooler guys. Like, and like, it could have been some other reason that I don't know why she was all on me and shit. But from my perspective, like, I don't have to fuck with you. And that's one thing guys gotta kind of understand about themselves. This shit is unspoken about. It's unreasonable. You know, it's not real to people. It's like I remember watching the movie Halloween, and it was that one black guy that fought back. He fought Michael Myers back because he was taking a piss. Michael Myers broke open the door. The black guy turned around. I'm thinking in the movie, I'm thinking he's gonna run or do anything to get away. The one black guy, he looking at Michael Myers like, man, you in the wrong spot. Like, you better get the fuck out of here. Then Michael Myers is sitting there like on some I'm about to kill you type shit. I'm thinking like, yo, this nigga better run. So what this nigga do? Start punching Michael Myers in the chest on some like I don't even realize that you're a monster because I'm so confident, and this is the I'm one minded with the shit. Like, listen, my value comes first. Who the fuck is she? And guys don't feel like that. So you can't tell a female off. You can't yell at a female. You don't feel like you're better or above a female because that's haram nowadays. If you do, you're Andrew Tate the third or the second or some shit, or the third. Um, you just can't have confidence. It just doesn't work. Now again, she's telling me, "Oh, you're gonna cut me off just because of this? Why not? You cut us off for nothing. Like, y'all cut, like, even if say she was trying to fuck with me, right? She probably don't cut off 23 other guys before she was trying to fuck with me. She don't give a fuck about who she didn't want to fuck with. She like, fuck that guy. But she expects, this is the ego that we're dealing with nowadays with women. She expects me to fit into her reality because anything outside of her reality, which is a guy who's just like, man, fuck that bitch. I don't give a fuck. You don't want to follow what I'm saying? I'm gone. She can't believe it is a lie to her. She's like, oh, this guy can't be, something must be wrong with him because he's not just trying to fuck me. And honestly, I don't give a fuck. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's not that important. And I got other women. So the fact that I asked you for a photo, it's a compliance test. So to go with what MVP saying, how can I be taking you too serious if I'm testing you? and you're failing the test. And because you're failing the test, you now got the nerve to text me again and say, instead of you saying something like, um, my bad, or I'm sorry, or let me, um, or even saying like I can't send it right now because I'm doing something, or making a fucking excuse or anything to make me feel validated as a man. Like I'm still fucking with you. I'm just not gonna do that type shit. She ain't had no respect. She was on some shit like, man, I think that you're trying to fuck me, or trying to like get a photo of me or some shit. Just because you think that way, I'm not dealing with that. I don't even care if I'm wrong or right. It's not the case. It's just about the principle. Like I'm not gonna deal with a woman who's doing that. And not only that, you talking like you want to fuck me, and we just started seeing each other today. So yeah, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, does that make sense? Like you're talking like you want to do all this, like you want to come over and do all this off the bat, right? But at the end of the day, I know saying you want a photo could throw some women off, but it's a beautiful test. It's a beautiful test. At the end of the day, from my experience, you're right though, but from my experience, it throws all the women off that I don't really want anyway. Like because submission is, it's like elementary school for me. It's like preschool. It's like if you can't get this down, then now I understand the idea of working yourself up to getting more things from a woman, but that shit is like that's why the world is in the state it's in. That's exactly why the world is feminine now. Because who's working for who's what? Who's working towards what? And what's funny is while guys lose they lose the aim of this every day or every week. Women since tradition from the beginning, they knew the worth of their pussy. They knew it. They knew it from the beginning, and it's still happening. And we will question ourselves and each other at every turn and every because I asked you for a photo. I didn't say a body photo. I didn't say a sexual photo. I said a photo. And because you failed that test, see the beautiful thing about tests is people don't know that it's happening. Like in high school, where your science teacher, they told your ass to listen. They told your ass to listen. Hey, listen, take your books out. Not only did they tell you to listen, but your parents should have told you to listen. So we're taking this, the concept that I'm on right now goes down to genetics. It goes down to your childhood traumas and how many niggas is you letting fuck you because why are you insecure over sending a fucking picture? You already told me we're on the bus together. You're already telling me that you want to come over. You're already telling me you want to do this, that, and third. And I understand what you're saying about the photo could be a trigger because a lot of losers ask for photos because they want to expose a female when shit don't go right. They want to show the photo and all this crazy ass shit. But then you don't trust me. And I understand we were just meeting and shit like that. But my whole thing is this. It's more important that a woman trusts the guy than the guy trusts the woman. And that's my personal opinion. So that's why I hear what y'all fellas are saying, but I feel differently about it. I feel like if you're willing to come over and see where I live and chill at my crib, if you're willing to let me know you want to fuck, or you're giving off those hints, you're willing to hug me and lean on me for 5 minutes. What are you trying to induce? What are you selling? You're selling sex. You're leading with sex. And if I ask for a photo, a bitch ass photo, not a body, not an ass photo, not a pussy pic, and you're telling me no, you know what I look like? Bitch, I know what you look like. I know you know, and I both know what each other look like. That's how we recognize each other for the second time. So where's the confusion? What's sometimes they say the darndest things because their ego is so high and so many thirsty guys are out here, they're chasing it. So when they come across a guy that's not thirsty, their mind kind of does this little warp thing. So I guess I could have took it slower or easier on her. That's the one thing I will look back at and say that if anything was wrong, it might have been the fact that I was too on her ass. Because first of all, I really don't even like to meet women from the past, like from high school and shit like that, because they're the ones who's gonna challenge you the most because they're like, okay, well, he was a nice guy in high school. He used to laugh all the time. So I feel like I know him. And we have some type of rapport that other women will never have. Ha 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 type shit. So I mean, again, when it come back down to vetting and seeing if a woman is worth your attention or your time, it becomes it becomes nuanced because she thinks she knows you, so she's coming at you as if she knows you. So she's talking to you like, See, the thing about me, I'm a lifestyle coach. So I always talk about evolution and shit like that. She don't know who she talking to because, okay, in high school, I was this way. In high school, you were that way. You were a different type of way. Now you got, I think she got a kid. She got this. She got different shit. Like, you can't assume that because I'm asking you for a photo. You can't assume anything. That's the problem. Like, stop assuming shit. Because I could have told her everything I'm telling y'all right now, but I didn't feel like wasting my breath because, again, I meet so many women and I meet new women. And again, when you ask a female for a photo, that's a compliance test. When you ask a female, can you stop by the store and grab this? That's a compliance test. It's certain things you ask females along the process that is going to let you know how they feel about you. And with, like I said, with her, I just felt an inconsistency. I felt there was an inconsistency. I felt like, you selling it in person, and I can't really trust a female who doing that either. Like, I know too many fake motherfuckers. Like, you can't lead with sex around me. First of all, that's a red flag. Second of all, you either trying to get crushed or you're not. And third of all, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's like, again, it's just with me, man, personal with me. Like, that's my compliance test. If you don't meet that requirement, you getting cut. Like, it ain't like, go bring me a bag of chips on the way to my house type shit. Like, that's cool and shit. That's cool and shit, but man, if I ask you for a photo, man, don't be no fucking lame. Send that fucking photo. Um, Fact said, not gonna lie, send a pic and throw off. I just say, let me see. That's all you say? Let me see? That's cocky as hell. Let me see. Dot dot. The word pics don't register to them all the time. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if she say like, "Oh, I just do this on," or "I just got this." Oh, nah, that's what I said though. I think on the bus, what I said was like, "Oh, let me see." Like, I want to see what the. I said when you, because she was telling me like, "Oh, I'm about to go to this store. I'm about to buy this. I'm about to do this." She was selling that shit like, giving me all this exclusive ass conversation. So I was like, I'm like, yeah. So since she all in my face, I gotta say some shit back. Like, we could have just traded numbers and then just talked about some other shit, but she was really selling the sexual shit. She like, oh, I'm about to go buy this from here. I'm about to go put this on and look all sexy and do this. She was doing all that, so I'm like, all right, so shit, like, I'm like, what could I say back to that shit? I'm like, I want to see what you look like when you buy what you're gonna buy. So I'm just filling in that dead space for real, like, to be honest. So like 2 days after I end up telling her like, oh yeah, I ain't never get my photo or some shit like that. Like, but I see what you're saying about the word sensory thing with the women. Maybe like, let me see, but I just feel like she was just on bullshit, bro. Like, that's why I don't be fucking with females from the past. Cause you just on bullshit. Like, I don't like when women think they equal to guys either. Like, so it's like a lot of women from your past gonna automatically assume that because they knew you when you actually thought that bullshit. So they really see you as a friend first. They see you, and like I say, ain't nothing wrong with rapport, as long as that rapport got some sexual shit in it. Like if I wasn't flirting with her in high school. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even flirting with her in high school, but I noticed her because like I think a couple of the homies would be like, uh, or like one of the homies that I like he used to be like, yeah, I'll fuck her, da da da. But we had class together and shit. But to me, she was basic. Like it was mad bad bitches in high school. Like so, you never really know who's looking at you because you're looking at what you looking at. But when she opened up on the bus, I'm like, okay, she's down. Like I'm definitely gonna spank her shit. And then what ended up happening was she did that bullshit, and I had to fire her ass like Vince McMahon. You're fired type shit, because they fire niggas so they're better than us at that, and that's a shame. Like, and then on top of it, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not doing it to get even or equal or none of that. I really don't fuck with women who don't pass the compliance test. I just don't. Um, yeah, they think you ask for news. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But just don't even assume, like, cause. But if you do assume, I do got a line for that. So if women assume, what I will say is, I'm not asking for. I'm like something like I'll say something like, "Damn, I can't get a photo." I'm not even asking for a body photo or nothing. I'm just, I'll say something like that to nullify or soften the blow. But I just don't like the way she responded to me off the rip. Like, you're not about to even address me that way ever in your life, ever in your life. Like, I don't care who you is. I don't care if it's Kim Kardashian. You're not addressing me like nothing. Don't address me because women are the type of creatures. If you let that shit slide, and then you try to mitigate the shit, depending on who she is and how she feels, that shit won't ever be the same from that point on. Because some women have a mental disorder where they are looking for guys who let them. They're looking for guys who explain themselves about everything that they do. They're looking for, okay, this guy is here and this guy is here. And some women got a mindset of they think in black and white. They're like, okay, any guy I come across, I'm gonna try to put him in one of these categories. And sometimes you come across a person you never met before, and I'm him because I believe in myself. I believe in uniqueness. I stand on uniqueness. All of my power is based in uniqueness. So when I honestly feel and think that something works for me, like asking for a photo, I stand on it because I'm not doing it just because I heard somebody tell me to do it. I'm doing it because I've done it and it worked in the past. And I know that compliance is a valuable thing to use because it really showed it really. I mean, I don't have done this to other women, and the relationship went very well because they knew off the bat that first of all he's different and he's bold and he's not scared to ask me for anything. And he's leading. First of all, he's setting the stage to let me know, like, in this relationship, he's going to be in control. So, where one woman will find it sexy, another woman will find it repelling. And the woman who finds it repelling is not my type from my personal experience because it's once you stop reading looks and you start reading personalities. When you really get deeper in the game, you're like, I'm not reading looks. I'm obviously gonna fuck with good looking women every time. If I go outside, that's gonna happen. That's every day. But at that point, you're like, okay, well, I'm here. What's next? Well, what's next is you're actually seeing patterns in people's personalities. So now you're in a whole different dimension of game. So you're like, okay, well, someone may think it's crazy to ask for a photo so early, but that's because they're not deep enough to see that it's nothing. It's like when you get deeper in game, you start realizing like some shit that seems crazy is not crazy, and some shit that uh seems regular is crazy. And If you can't send me a photo, then I don't want nothing to do with you because you're not listening. And I'm not saying that like in a way where it's like again manipulation or something, but it's just in a common biological sense. You know, it's like a common sense, like feminine and masculine terms types. Like it's like science. Like I understand the shit test, but you only get one chance to hit me with one of them shits. And once I pass it, you better not do that shit again. Because again, real men master time. They deal with time. They understand time, and they don't waste their time. So what am I subcommunicating? It's all the things I'm trying to fill y'all in that y'all don't probably see when you ask a female to do something and they don't listen. You're letting them know, even if you try to check them, if you try to go around it, if you try to say the smooth next thing, you're subcommunicating. We're equal. I have to explain myself to you. We're on the same level. And it's degrading. And it's subtly degrading. It's the sneakiest thing a woman could possibly do. It's like poking holes in your shit type shit because especially the type of game that we're in, because what she's gonna do eventually is start subcommunicating to all your other women somehow, some way that this guy's weak. And not only that, but before those women are even in the picture, she might not even know you got other women. She's gonna get you to believe it. So that's the even more devious thing about that. She's gonna get you. She's literally inadvertently having such strong beliefs about photos that she's gonna talk you out of things you've been doing way before she came around. And then once you buy into that ideology that you know what, maybe I am being too harsh. Maybe some women deserve a little more respect. Maybe. You know, I don't let no woman make me hypothesize because as long as it's valid to me and it's valid to guys that I look up to, then who the fuck is she? She is a byproduct. She don't get to tell me what's too quick and what's too slow. If I want to kiss you, is it not a man's decision to go for what he wants? If I want to approach you, did you have to tell me about that too? I guess some people believe in. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the signal shit that women do to let you know that there's interest there. But again, I come from very direct teachers, so I just feel like I'm gonna go with the move, and you're gonna get that from me from the beginning to the end of the relationship. That this guy is he's actively he's not a waiter. He's not gonna wait for life to happen. He's gonna act on situations. And again, when I ask you for a photo, you should understand. He approached me like a man. He talked to me like a man. So why the fuck do I expect him to turn into a cat now? It's not gonna happen now. And she knows that now because we're not ever gonna fuck. And I'm okay with that because again, women are so egotistical, bro. They will die not and never have sex with you. And they won't miss a thing. They will not care. They will not give a fuck about you. Doesn't matter. Catch me in the afterlife or the next reincarnation or some shit, and I still won't fuck you, nigga. That's how they think. How guys think is, oh my god, I gotta get that shit right now. If I don't get it, it's not gonna work. I'm not good enough. Everything that I ever thought to do is wrong. I didn't get this one girl. These women control guys so fucking much that they can shift and shape shift your belief system. They can shape shift the way you text them. They can shape shift the way you eat. They can shape shift your haircut. They can shape shift your friends, how your friends see you. They can shape shift anything. And I refuse to be manipulated. That's all. So I'm gonna get off that topic, but um, Neil, what's going on, Neil? I like that name. I always like the name Neil. It rhymes with my name. Um, Facts, 100% definitely. So he says facts. New York, NYC facts, 100% definitely can be a more neutral or and less suggestive way to ask for a photo. I agree with that. I agree with that, fellas. I 100% agree with that. Y'all know I'm all about that shit. Uh, but at the time, so when I ask for the photo, I don't just say I don't. Okay, maybe I'm sorry. I communicated it the flat way because I'm talking to y'all, and I didn't think the way I said it to her was oh no, I think I did kind of flatly say it, but I said it like why don't you send me a photo so I can tell you how sexy you look? And I got that from one of my coaches and shit like that. But that's that shit works a lot. So again, I see how it could, and I've been knew that it could turn a lot of women off. I've been knew that, but I'm not ignorant to that. But I just when it works, it fucking works, and when it don't work, I just don't give a fuck because again, it's typically a female. I'm not against triggering a female. I'm not against that because, for instance, say one day you're out at a cookout and all your family's there, and because you're being so nice all the time, you say something to her, and she fucking curse you out in front of your grandparents and shit. Well, technically, you can't really stop that shit. Well, you could get up and buck up, but you already look like a bitch. And what the crazy thing is that people are going to be more so looking at you than her in many different ways. Half of them going to look at you for like, okay, um, why you let her talk to you like that? And then half of them going to look at you like, okay, how don't you know the type of woman you got around us type shit. And what I'm saying is that if I ask you for a photo, like I said, it's beautiful. It's a Mona Lisa, bro. People think that it's people. I see why people would judge it because I didn't think it was so magnificent at one point. But that shit, it's such a detector of who's gonna be a problem later on that it's not even funny. So I want y'all to look at that and think about that. Like it's such a fucking because people say, oh, when you want to a test for a woman, just ask her for a bag of chips. Before she come over the first time, tell her to stop by the store and get you a bag of chips. I said, okay, well, I like sunflower seeds, so I mean that shit would be cool, But I'm asking her for a photo before I even do that 9 times out of 10 because the photo comes right after I set up the date, which is the first test. The first test is actually here's my number and all that shit. She take your number. Okay, text me. She texts you. So everything got a little bit of compliance in it from the beginning. So the compliance should get bigger and bigger as time goes on. Now I understand what y'all saying about you still could be a sly motherfucker and still, hey, baby girl, remember that photo you said you was gonna give me that? You can act it in a way where the shit's perfecto and shit like that. I agree with that. I'm all about language, but I just found in my past, man, I don't got some freaky women just to really just settle in with me. And the photos had never broken. It doesn't break the spell. You know what I'm saying? You would think that it does, but it don't. It it may deduct some women, but they would have gave you some bullshit later on anyway. Maybe you would have got a little bit more pussy, but you would have realized that this woman ain't someone you want to fuck with anyway. For me personally, that's why I say this is more personal with me. Everybody's compliance test is gonna vary, but mine just really fits me because it gets rid of the dead weight. To be honest, because I really don't want one woman bucking up to me in front of my other women, or even doing it behind closed doors. Because energy is transferred, right? Woman test you, even if you argue back and defend yourself, you still soft. And then when you go talk to that other girl that you really like, that you're not just fucking, she could smell that shit on you. Just like how women could smell the pre-selection, they could smell the non-selection. So they're like, for some reason, they just start testing you for some odd reason. And you're like, the first thing that pop in your head karmatically is, damn, I know my energy is already fucked up because I had to deal with Sally earlier. So now Jennifer is talking crazy, and I'm trying to figure out where she coming from because they're smelling it on you. They're like, somebody been testing this nigga. It's all in his energy. So now I get them women up out of here, man. If you don't want to send me no photo, it's so beautiful how that shit works. It's like you either on this street or that street at that point. Because even if you're, say you don't want to send it, but you do send it, or say I end up telling her like, hey, I'm not asking for a body photo. I'm just asking for a face photo. That's all. I don't did that a lot, and I don't got the photo. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even though they didn't want to do it, the fact that they did it, we end up in a whole new dimension and a trust. We end up in a whole new lineage point or timeline of the relationship. And she, based on how I'm gonna respond to it with a compliment on how she looks, and I got a way to respond to that. She's getting more deep and steeped in the games. She's like, damn, okay, you know how to respond, you know how to make me feel. He validated me for my, and that's another thing. You got to be able to reward good behavior. So I reward her for that with a compliment or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And um, shit like that. So it don't been successes with that shit. It's just the women who are more stubborn. They just want to do that shit. Like I understand you can be nice to stubborn women, but I don't even believe in that. I believe in cutting narcissistic people out generally. Like it's kind of narcissistic to assume that. I mean, you met me in person. You know I'm nice. You know I'm cool. I was cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like nice, super nice. And you were more freaky than I was. And for you to assume that I'm like them bozos you dating. Just keep dating them bozos. I'm cool. I don't want to be the next one. I don't want to be. I don't even want to upgrade you. It's like if I go to McDonald's or if I go to some franchise or some business and I go in there and I tell them, and they say, hey, I need your ID, and I'm like, why the fuck you need my ID? You know what I look like? They just gonna say next nigga up. It's not gonna be no, like you could try to save it, you could try to reiterate what you said, you could try to take it back, you could try to rethink it, you could try to pray about it, but you know in your hearts of hearts that you ain't shit. And that's what's wrong with the world now. People let women be not shit and then they think that, okay, well, I'm just gonna let them be not shit. Oh well. I want some pussy. Oh well. And again, if a female shows you over time that she's a good person and stuff, you get a little bit more respect. You get a little bit more. Um, you get a different side of me. But you coming in swinging like you coming in thinking like you somebody. Like you're literally assuming that you're somebody, and that's crazy to me. Like that's psychopathic to me. That's psychopath shit. Like that's why I say you knew me in high school, but you don't know me. You don't know me like that. You didn't even know me in high school. We just had class together. Like I'm way good without you. I've been good without you. I've been great without you. That's what they don't get. That's what they don't get. They don't understand that they're more of a liability than an asset. That's what they don't understand. Oh, you're an asshole. Well, peace out. I'm gone. I don't care. Like, okay, words are curses. Nothing new under the sun. You're trying to get me to think a negative way about myself. So you can manipulate me and change. That's manipulation. That's what manipulation is. And when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. That's a fact. Oh well, we gotta find some way. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm just not paying you no mind because true health, and this is why I say I'm a lifestyle coach first. True health is focusing on yourself. That's it. If me and Shorty ain't work out, we ain't work out. It's cool. I'm not even mad at you. Not even thinking about you. I just brought it up for the thing. For the example. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but nah, there's a better way to probably handle the rejection for sure. But I was sick of the bullshit already. A lot of women, I'm sick of this bullshit, bro. Like, and I got women in my inbox right now talking about some freaky shit right now as we speak. Like I know all women ain't the same and shit, but they're not about to do that shit. I guess that's too direct. You may have to switch it up indirectly asking for a photo, but I feel you. You have a checklist, and she didn't check off. Shorty failed. Yeah, she failed miserably because I mean I don't like narcissists. So any assumptions will always be, you know, this the good old saying, assumptions make an ass out of me and you. You know that's not fair to me. I'm not assuming that you're going to send me the photo. I'm asking you. But the way you respond to what I'm asking you, unfortunately, is a test that you're one that you can't sense because remember, women are emotional. So because you're emotional, you're too busy feeling some shit and not thinking. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have it to where women are. I like women that think. Think. Think before you talk. Like have some respect because just because I'm asking for a photo, um, you just need to grow up. You need more experience. You need to realize that every guy's not trying to fuck you, and that every guy isn't the same. And because you deal with some lames, don't mean you're dealing with one currently. It's a lot of things in my life that I had to see. Like I said in the work world, like I can't show up late. I can't act any type of way. I can't talk back to the boss. I got my ass fired last 2 years, like 4 years ago or some shit. And my boss was talking to me crazy, and I'm like, yo, why you talking to me like that? Like you my father or some shit. Like, and I was genuinely asking. Like I wasn't just trying to punk him or no shit, but I was genuinely asking. And what happened was I got my ass fired, and there was no returning back. And again, you just don't know when it's a test, and you don't know when it's actually a genuine question. So people got to be on point. And I still didn't say my thing. Let me see if I could squeeze this in real quick before we get out of here. Cause now this person that I live with is up in their voice is fucking echoing through the house. You see, I deal with enough weird energy that I can't even let a woman step foot in my life if her energy is fucked up. I need women who add value, like and just by talking shit or challenging me is it's a waste of time. Like so, this is a structure that you can use on a stranger. When you see a stranger and you want to open up a conversation, you could be anywhere and do this. You could be at the gym. You could say it outside during the day, or you could be at a night. At night, you could be at a venue somewhere. And a venue, remember, is just a building. You could be in McDonald's, Walmart, Target, the mall. To me, when I hear the word venue, I hear open space and opportunity. Or you could be. I remember daytime is like what you're walking on a sidewalk, at a park, wherever, and or you could be in class. You're in some type of classroom. So basically, this is a structure for you to talk to strangers. And I should have been. I'll probably make a real format video on this shit. But I got, you know, I was talking away this whole video, but this is just, I guess it's how it goes. Um, so first of all, you want to smile. Whatever mantra or word makes you smile that you could think of, say that word to yourself, or just try to smile. I got a word that I use that makes me smile organically, like kind of like right now. I got a little itty bit of a smile. Y'all can't see it, but it's just like a little cocky smile, and that helps me to be able to be more charming in conversation. So, the first thing you want to say is, "Hey, how's it going?" Right? That's number one. So, I was looking for an opener for so long. Remember, I'm still thinking about that girl that live in my apartment complex. Um, because like I said, I don't said hi to her before, and I made a video before about how you can talk to women and break the fear of talking to women, and I did it a long time ago. So somebody would ask, "How the fuck you scared to talk to her if you burp that shit?" Listen, I don't know. She just is super quiet. She's like a nerdy girl, and she walks by, and I'm like, she's walking so fast at that, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't talk to her a couple times, say hi, but like she just says hi, and she kind of her feet don't really stop moving. So to me, that kind of indicates like I'm not interested, or she's nice, but and my mom knows her mom a little bit, so it's kind of like um, and her sister, and like we kind of like, I don't know, it's weird, but I know for a fact I can't get her if I don't talk to her. That's just common fucking sense. And I was spending all this time trying to get better at conversation. Yeah, I know that's basically what this whole damn channel is based around. And you got medium talk, big talk, and you got small. You got everything in the middle. Right? I was talking about flirting, storytelling, all this pickup art stuff, false time constraints, all this crazy ass shit. I mean, you got all these weapons in the middle that you can use. Storytelling, we're gonna make a video on that soon too, because I believe we should be men of stories. Stories like that should be really primarily how we talk. But like this video, I was all over the place, just kind of like filling in a little bit. It's like I'm talking like I got some examples of some great talkers too. But we should be more talking that way daily. Like it should never really come to a point where you're explaining yourself to somebody. It should always be stories. And if you and I'm gonna go with this analogy. I call it five fingers. I don't know what the fuck, five finger storytelling or some shit. So you got five fingers. You got a middle finger. This indicates the middle point. So you want to at least have three stories, three stories that you know off the top of your dome that you could bring up. And I'm creating those right now for myself. And five is perfect, because again, you really want to get good at storytelling, and you really want to get to a point where you know you could just randomly like do that shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk more about that in another video. But I spent so much time looking for better openers and what's the cool opener to say to a woman and how do you do it and what's this and all for me to find one of the guys that I look up to say, "Hey, how's it going?" And it was like a beautiful thing because this opener was not only for women but it's for people. And I so much time asking myself, what would the cool person say in high school? What would the cool guy say? And in reality, it's just that. It's like, hey, how's it going? Because remember, being cool is not kissing nobody's ass. It is not giving a fuck. And remember, I told you how I broke the ice at the store talking to these cute black women. I went into the store to go get some food and or some snacks. And I seen two beautiful black women standing over there. And I'm like, not even noticing how nervous I am with women because I never questioned how nervous I was to talk to women because I always was kind of talking to their ass. But what happened was a mentor that I look up to said, "You're gonna break, that weird feeling around women by just saying hi, hello, or hey to them." And I did it that day, and I noticed as if like some type of wall kind of disintegrated between us, and I'm like, "That's the weirdest shit I ever seen." Because what happened was the girl looked at me, she said hi, and she smiled, and I was like, "Damn, she seemed a lot of interested." So, when you could cut off how much you tell yourself you have to say, you're going to put more energy into the less amount of words you have to say. So I only had to say hi or hello or what's up. And when I did that, I put all that energy into that one word, and I feel like she felt that powerful energy coming. So when this coach told me, he was like, "Yeah, you just gotta say, hey, how's it going?" That's beautiful because I can say that to the girl next door, and I can say that to somebody who I see at the store later on, male or female. Hey, how's it going? That shit is fucking perfect, bro. Like, okay, now let me quickly go to number two so I don't make y'all feel like, this guy is fucking crazy. Because I just like sometimes we sleep on some shit. Because what I'm saying is the cool person is not saying anything crazy. They're saying something so common and they're saying something so common, but they're still choosing the right thing out of the common things, which is, hey, how's it going? It's just so smooth. It's just fucking smooth. It's just perfect. So when I see Shorty, I'm really thinking about saying that, yo, hey, how's it going? Because I already said hello to her before. I already said hi like twice. So now it's about that time for me to, hey, how's it going? You know what I'm saying? That's the game right there. That's the game. Because remember, what we're doing is we're taking it and we're slowly cranking the heat up. Because remember, if you go direct, especially me, because I think she know I like her. I ain't gonna lie. I think she know. So if I go direct, it might break like I said, it might trigger some shit. I think she know. I think she know. I think I don't spoke with somebody and they don't said some shit and now she knows. So I think that she kind of like probably deep down waiting for me to say some shit, but I'm still gonna keep it player. So it's just that it's not even going to really. It's not going to go like that. So now, what I'm expecting from somebody when I say how you doing, I mean how's it going, not how you doing. Remember, we don't give a fuck how they doing like that, but how's it going? That's more smooth. And she's gonna say something like good you, or just maybe good in you, right? Because I don't think, especially a woman's not gonna just be like I'm good. But even if she do that, you can probably change that a little bit. Man, this person in the other room is yelling and shit is falling off of the counters and everything, bro. Like this person that I live with is a fucking maniac, bro. Like I need my own crib. Like I promise y'all let's see like two women right here validating everything I'm saying right now. If I have my own crib, I really could do that shit here. But I'm just saying, like I live with this maniac, bro. Being direct breaks what has been taught by so like I think that because she knows or someone has had to tell her, because who I told, I know told who she knows. And um, I think that it could make me also look soft by like telling her people that I think she cute versus me just going up to her in the first place. But she always was quiet as fuck and walking by like she walked by this shit like a cat every day, and I barely catch her, and it's like uh, she seemed nice though, but like when I say hi, she like I said hi to her twice, she said hi back, and because that's all we need though. That's all we need. That's all we fucking need. That's all we need. And like you said, by being direct, I feel like especially at this point that I'm at. Now, granted, if I go to the mall later or tomorrow, "Hey, what's good? How you doing?" Da, da, da. I'm going straight towards, because that's how I approach. That's my typical approach. That's my standard approach. More indirect would be a lot of different things. I got a lot of different things, but again, this is kind of what it would be too. Hey, how's it going? Because as soon as I do that, remember we're transitioning at all points. Because hey, how's it going? Is just a is just an opener. Sometimes we don't need an opener to be so fancy. We just need an opener to do just what it's meant to do. To open that shit up like a can opener. It don't got to be a cute can opener. It don't got to be a special can opener. We're just trying to get the can open so we can get to the good stuff. And that's what a lot of guys don't realize. And that's why I was so happy to get this, hey, how's it going opener? Because the guy I'm listening to, I value him so much. And he's smooth and shit. He talk to ladies and shit. So I'm like, okay, hey, how's it going? That shit is going to be so powerful. But so most likely, especially a woman is going to say, but a lot of guys too are also going to say, I'm good and you, I'm doing good, bro. How are you? Or she's going to be like, I'm good. But I don't see her saying you because she's so fucking shy and quiet. But either way it go, the next thing on this structure, right, is you're gonna say I had a, and then you're gonna put an emotion or adjective inside of that, and then you're gonna say experience plus uh, a question related to that experience. Now this motherfucker I'm listening to is so cold. He's so cold. Now this is my how I write. This look like jargon right now. I'm really trying to get this out the way so I could get offline now because I'm getting annoyed by her voice. Like she talk like she's whining and like explaining something all the time. Like that shit is so annoying. Like she talk like no one listens to her. That's exactly how she talk. Like and she don't understand this like whining and shit. Shout out to Six Viewers. How y'all doing, man? I'm trying to pin my message that I just wrote in the chat. Okay, there we go. So if you're looking at what I just said at the top, it says, but so I'm saying how you doing? I'm saying, hey, how's it going? She said, I'm good, and you, right? Hopefully that's what the fuck she said. But she could really put anything. But what I'm saying is, I had a, and then I'm gonna say emotion or adjective. So the adjective could be something like adjective is like a feeling. So even if I want to say it could be, I got a feelings chart right here that I had um, put up, and so we got any feeling right here. We got angry, fearful, bad, surprised, happy, sad. So say we just want to keep it positive, or I'm gonna do one for positive and one for negative. We could say disgusted. No, we could go with angry, and then we could go to resentful because this is kind of true. Because I woke up a couple hours ago, and so this is what I would be saying to the girl, right? Like, so literally, I literally woke up a couple hours ago, and what happened was I felt kind of yeah. I mean, how you doing works. It's like a standard thing, but okay, like how you doing? Yeah, that do work. That do work. I say that a lot though, and I feel like I don't. I'm trying to keep it as how you doing to me gives like I don't know. It does work. It does work. I'm a little biased against it because I just feel like um, hey, how's it going? It's just like it's under the radar to me. Because if I see someone I don't know, and they say, "How you doing?" Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that could work. I don't know why I get a picture of like a professor in my head saying that, like at school. Hey, how you doing? Like to me that make me feel like you know me already a little bit. It make me feel like we already kind of know each other a little bit. And with the girl I'm thinking about, if I say, "Hey, how you doing?" She's gonna think I'm trying to fuck her. Like in my mind at least. In my mind at least, and I don't want her to think that. I get the opposite. Okay. I feel like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's something you can say to a guy or a female, and it just is what it is. You really can't call what I'm trying to what you really don't know what my intentions are. Like it's "Hey, how's it going?" Like I can say that to a cousin, I can say that to my nephew, I can say that to my aunt, I can say it to my grandfather, I can say it to my like it's certain words that feel so cliche. Like what's the word? Not cliche, but like um the shit just works. Like I remember when I was about to go to work one day when I was roommates with my cousin, and I'm sitting there talking to my cousin, right? And my cousin says, "No, but I don't mind sounding white. Peep this though, because white people got game though. Peep this though, like because you want to sound casual. You want to sound casual because you don't want her to think you want to fuck her. Um, you want her to genuinely get the feeling that this guy is a nice person. Like, and I'm not saying white people are all good people, but I'm just saying the way they're really good at the way they talk. They know how to make you feel comfortable. They know how to make you feel safe. I think black people, we honestly do rub each other the wrong way. We do it on purpose a lot of the time, but at the same time, we do that. Like even my mom, I'm telling you right now, the way she's talking in the other room, she talks like I think I pick up that from her actually, like kind of like annoying, like bombarding type of voice. But it is about the tone, but it's also about what the words you choose. Structure matters. Sentences are structures and the choice of words that you put in there. Now, granted, you can say anything with the right tone, but I don't know, bro. I'm super picky with this shit because I have a love for art and I have a love for language, and I understand that the way you articulate, I see words as like an algorithm. I see words as like it's like, oh, if you would have posted that video at 6 o'clock, it would have went viral, but you posted it at 6:01 type shit. Or if you would have said I instead of we in that sentence, she would have sucked your dick. Like I honestly believe these little nuances. So most of the guys I listen to that teach indirect game, they are white men. But black guys also study that shit and they get more success. It do sound a little white, I will agree. But when you're saying white, I feel like what you're really sub-communicating is it sounds proper. And that's good because I said something to my mom the other day, kind of like showing her one of my patterns. And she said, I could tell that ain't you. She said, I could tell that ain't you because you don't even talk like that. I said, I said, if I'm talking to a stranger, then they don't know how I talk. One. And two, that's good because how I talk, I typically we argue every day. So so the way I talk is obviously not really working. Now I do understand, okay, once you learn what to say, you can kind of put the slang back in there. You can embed, you can it's like putting on an outfit. The structure is the outfit, but you're the substance. So even if I'm wearing a suit, I'm still a black guy in a suit. And when I get off work, I'm gonna unbutton the shirt and wear it more like in the way I'm more wear it. Bro, try that shit. But don't say it like Dr. Phil or some shit. Say it like just like a black guy. Oh, Mark. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say you white. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. We could go deep on that. That's another topic though. But true that. I mean, the slang is always in me. I'm black. I grew up using I'm black. Like that shit is in my genetics. I don't have to act black, but I don't have to act white. But there's some universal languages that we must get, and that's what I'm standing on with this. Hey, how's it going? Now I got a cousin, right? I was gonna tell you the story. He's like me, but he's like the more preppy guy. Like he has jobs. He's good at getting jobs. He know how to he know how to do applications. He's like good at that. He's like that's him. He got a job at Apple when I was down south. He knew how to do that shit. He's tech savvy and you know so saying hey how's it going fits his personality and it fits some of my other cousins too. But it also fits me. It's no reason why it don't fit me. It's just the fact that I always talk like a igga. You know what I'm saying? I always talking like, you know, when I was growing up in the neighborhood I grew up, it was popular to sound like J. Cole or Jay Z. So that's just my difference. But game is game, structure is structure, and form is form. Like when you learn how to be a new way, you don't reject it, you embrace it. And you don't lose your culture or lose the fact that you know you're from the streets or you're from the hood or I mean there's a lot of people from the streets that get into these corporate places and they know how to talk, you know what I'm saying? They know they the mouthpiece is not just slang, you know what I'm saying? It's being able to touch people and reach people and to make your voice more soothing and different things, so it's an instrument. So I feel like with this girl that walked by, and again, she might even be a nerdy type of female. From I haven't never broke her down enough to talk to her to see what's inside, but yeah, it's like human chess type shit. So, uh, so when I hit her with the hey, how's it going? Because remember, how's it going also kind of implies like I seen you before, I seen you around, I met you before. So I don't want to say, I mean, how you doing is cool, but I don't want to both of those could work, but I'm going with the how's it going for now. And then so she's gonna say something like cool and you, or even good and you, or anything she said. Oh, I'm doing good. Um, but the whole game is to put the opponent in a one down position. So 98% of the stuff that I'm gonna teach is gonna be stuff that makes a woman feel obligated to respond. And the reason they're going to feel obligated is because women hate to feel wrong so badly that if you are proper with your conversation, they feel like they feel embedded to saying something back. Even if they hate you, or even if they don't want to respond, they feel urged because of um, and it's not just women, it's human beings in general. If you go up to a guy and you're like, yo, nice to meet you, bro, like, yo, like, you know, this and that. If you show respect to your bully, if someone's bullying you every day, but you show this person and it's the way you word this shit, they will go, oh shit, I gotta be nice right now. Something inside their core or their heart or something will spawn, even if they fight this shit like a motherfucker. But it's how you convey and conduct yourself. And this is what we're talking about manners. So, like my coach told me, when you go up to a woman, you tell her, excuse me. That's the first thing you say. Ever since I used that, I got 99.9% of the women's attention that I went up to. And this was 5 years ago. I learned it 6, 7 years ago. So all the way up to today. I never stopped using it because it works. Excuse me, excuse me. It don't matter which tone, which voice, the word is going to evoke a response. So this is what we aim for. We aim for things that do that. So when I feel like with her, I don't say hi or hello twice or hi or whatever as she walked by. So now it's time for me to um, yeah, everybody use it now, but I was using that shit. I mean, of course, there's been people before me, but I've been using it for like when it wasn't so popular. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple years back, like when I started using it, I wasn't hearing nobody saying it, but now it's catching fire these days. Like within the last 2 3 years. Um, Because remember, we was all saying, "Oh, what's good?" or we doing all this street shit. Remember, we used to do all this street shit, bro. Like that's what I was doing. Um, but I got some coaching, and it's a black guy, but he's teaching me how to be proper and show manners. And it's these guys, even though you're black, bro. It's the sounding white that actually, and it's not saying that you're getting the pussy because you sound white, but you're getting it because the sentence, the way, something about the way the shit is structured, and we're gonna talk about that another day. But it just evokes a response. Like I think 90% of the seduction shit that I learned sounds white, and it's coming from white teachers a lot of the time. Like when you're saying words like, I don't know, Sally, tomorrow, when you go to get that um, chocolate bar, um, something, 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 you just have to just go do it, right? You're making the suggestion to go do it, or you say, um, which is like that's a suggestion, right? That's a hint. I'm telling her to do it in the sentence. I'm embedding the suggestion in the sentence. I'm saying do it, but it's coded with all the other shit I'm saying. But logically, she's hearing a sentence, but subconsciously, she's something down here is going like this. Something down here, and with words you can kind of like, because words are like a frequency, so you could kind of form your sentences to where they have enough friction in them verbally to induce seduction. So like I make sure I say a lot of suggestions when I form my sentences, and I say a lot of commands. Like the commands are just verbs. So if you say something like uh, Denisha, um, it's not important to um, damn, I wrote some shit down the other day that was extremely sexual, like, but it was like a sentence, so it was like clandestine. So it was like, it's not important to, it's not important to. I'm trying to get y'all to see how vague and devious you could be with words. Like, Denisha, it's not important to, because saying it's not important, that's called a weasel phrase. So it's not important to, and I'll tell y'all what a weasel phrase in another video. Weasel phrase is just a way of setting up the sentence or throwing the woman consciousness off. Uh, it's tucking my intentions further down. So in the middle of a conversation, we're going back and forth, and she's like, "Oh, my friend Darlene wants to sleep with you, but she just didn't know it. But I'm trying to fuck her. So when I'm talking to her, I'm like, listen, Denisha, it's not important to fuck me. You get what I did right there, or you could use quotes, which is a reference. So I'm talking to a female, and I'm like, uh, Rebecca, uh, my mom had told me one time that when you just do it, things become easier. You see what I did right there? Like, but it's in the sequence of the sentences she's giving me. So she's like, "Oh my God, I got this new job. I don't want to do this. Da, 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 I don't want to do that." And I don't want to go in because I'm nervous. And like, yeah, Rebecca, my mom told me one time that, you just gotta go for it. Things you want, things that you really, really want. You just gotta just do it. Now I could get even more descriptive, which these words are called descriptors, by using body sensations and stuff like that. Could make it even more seductive and more hot and shit like that. And it's beautiful how this shit works. I know this shit sounds devious, um, but Nike did it to us. They said just do it. Embedded command. Let me see. I ain't even finished. See, I be jumping all around. I ain't even finished what I was doing. But nah, it's real tricky, bro. You gotta steal from both. Like even white and black don't matter. The teacher and the stuff that they say sounds sometimes a little bit more white than black, but you still gotta use it because they're really teaching you how to. They're sophisticated people. They're teaching you how to think outside the box because you got to be able to educate, and that's another thing about game. My mentor always taught us to educate and elevate a woman, and one of the most easy and common ways you could do it is by being a better talker than her. Um, the body vocabulary. I think it's in here.